The following podcast contains strong language, graphic violence, and mild nudity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Suck my popsicle?
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Four Guys in a Movie podcast. Tony has already died in shame. My name is Rob. I'm your host. This guy right next to me is my twin, Mudflap.
Yeah, sure, I'll go with that.
I'm Dave.
This bitch with the mouthful of ribs.
Just call me McRib.
All right.
And I am what would be a cool-looking robot with two wrecking balls for a scrotum.
Okay. We watched a little film called Transformers.
Two?
Two. I don't remember the subtitle.
Revenge of the Fallen.
In fairness to Rob, they're all the same movie.
They are. Well,
Point against Rob, they only say the Fallen about 500 times throughout this movie.
yeah, but that's, I mean, you know.
They also say scrotum like 500 times.
Yeah,
throughout
it
the
could have been Revenge of the Scrotum, Scrotum of the Fallen,
It's close enough.
Falling
Falling
Scrotum.
That would have been close.
I've fallen and I can't get scrotums.
All would have been acceptable.
Yes, but basically last episode, for those of you uninitiated, I did critically fail my movie roll. So I had to pick a movie from the bad list. And once again, I chose a Transformers film.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Quick side note on that.
Yeah.
So, do you like to see me angry in general, and specifically for recording these?
So question for you, retort question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any time when you're not angry?
Yes. We watched The Thing. I was quite pleased.
You were still angry. You're just pleased with the movie.
Oh, well, talking life in general, that's different, but that's not the point.
Well, either way. No, I don't like to see you angry, but
Okay.
I did fail. It was going to have to be a bad movie, and sometimes it's like a Band-Aid. You just got to rip it off.
I've resigned myself to the fact that we are going to watch all 5 of these fucking
Oh,
things.
absolutely. And we've
Also,
only
yeah,
got
that's-
2 left.
Yeah.
Also, you can't really use that argument when your first 20 was why we watched the first Transformers.
He wanted
Sometimes I'm just an asshole.
Yeah.
to. In that particular time, he wanted to see you angry.
Gentlemen.
I'm just wondering because, I'm going to try to keep myself composed, but if he or the audience enjoys it, I would be okay with letting it out more.
Guys, we have a lot of movie and snacks to get through.
A whole lot.
I think Tony was crying by the end of the first one.
Well, yeah, we all were. So, quickly, we do have a Fat Chat Test Kitchen, as well as just some celebratory goodies.
Dear Lord.
Yeah. But first, does anybody want to say whether they have a history with this film? Have they seen it before?
I will say this is the special film that this didn't completely write Michael Bay off for me, but this wrote off the Transformers franchise. I said I will not contribute any more money towards this until Michael Bay has left it. So I didn't see 3 until the podcast, and I've still never seen 4 and 5.
I gotta tell you, Joe, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you do stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe, with the exception of one person in this room, we all saw this in the theater at the same time.
I believe, yeah, I was with...
I would be that one person. This was my first and last time seeing this movie.
Don't blame me on that.
At least for the first movie, I remember we got pumped up to your mix of Team America soundtrack and the 86 Transformers soundtrack.
Well, it was a different time. We were all sweet summer children.
Yeah, well, I did want to ask, because we did the third one already, right? Yeah.
Sure.
And I don't remember which one it was, but either this one or the third one, I did not see it with you guys in the theater, because we were supposed to, but on my way there, I blew a tire and spent hours waiting for someone to...
Pretty sure your tire blew itself. Committed seppuku.
Yes, I realize now it was trying to save me. Well, it did not, because I ended up going to complete the mission and watch the fucking thing by myself. Or, well, not by myself, with somebody else, but...
I'm sorry.
I would have just called it a day.
well... I was an idiot.
All right. So
was everyone else in this movie.
I know some folks here have a timetable to get to. So should we? Would you like a slab of Oreo to go? Are you sure?
What is your test kitchen?
All right.
It looks good.
Yeah, that looks good. We got some other things first.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's the test kitchen. So the test kitchen.
You sure you don't want to hold that off? Because we got a lot going on.
We don't have to eat the whole thing.
She
Just have
said
to try it. I got some Pop-Tarts.
She said about the
Got
uranium
some pop-
cakes.
Eggo waffle flavored Pop-Tarts.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you made Dave watch the movie.
And
let
Boston-
him have some.
Yeah, let him enjoy himself.
All
And Boston
right.
cream
Well, this
cheese
is
donut.
no. I mean,
They seem inoffensive.
yeah. I'll try both of these real quick.
I'm gonna put a mouthful of cheese.
Oh, that'll go well with the cream.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes well with cream, son.
I cleansed my palate with some Mountain Dew.
Which one would you like to try first, boys?
The one you opened.
Yeah, Boston cream donut. I think the Eggo waffle's probably going to be better.
Okay.
Yeah, if they fuck up syrup, I'm gonna be mad.
I'll just grab a half.
So we're doing like the Eucharist here, like.
Yeah, pretty much. I tried to split them in half, but they just kind of broke apart.
The
I mean-
body of Satan.
Yeah, I'm
Hey, you should be able
not
to grab a whole
against
half there.
passing that around like.
Let's take it.
Whatever.
Take the whole thing.
This is fine.
All right,
All right.
You unorganized.
ready, boys?
Yep.
Exactly what I thought it would be.
Tastes exactly like a Boston cream donut.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's not better than most of the regular Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, I'm not like, oh, I want this one.
Like, I don't think I'm gonna go buy it, but it's not bad.
Mine mostly tastes like corner piece.
It's no Twinkie Wiener sandwich, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Few things are.
Oh, nope, there it is.
You can have that. All right. Now,
I feel like this one's going to be a disappointment.
I think you got the most riding on this one.
Well, see, I view Pop-Tarts kind of like how I view a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Like, the brown sugar cinnamon one, just eat that. Like,
Yep.
you're not getting better than it, so stop, like, monkeying around with the formula.
this one looks like it's turmeric heavy somehow.
Yeah. You know what?
Really
I'm
does.
taking an adventurous-sized piece here.
But you want to, occasionally you want to venture out and try different flavors.
Well, you
or
got
what
the
have
strawberry
you.
one for that.
That's fair.
Just take the whole half. I'll give you the half to Dave, and I'll just grab another.
I only want half of the half.
All right, then I'll
Thank
eat
you.
that.
This does look like it has turmeric on it.
It does.
It just looks like it's curry flavored or something. Or like mayonnaise and mustard.
Got a very authentic mapley smell.
It
Does. Bottoms up.
Oh, yeah.
I taste the syrup.
I taste a waffle.
Yeah. It does taste
Oh,
like an
that's
egg
good.
waffle.
Okay.
Again, it's not the brown cinnamon and or brown sugar and cinnamon one,
I
but
would not spend money on this.
No.
yeah,
No.
I wouldn't spend money on either of them. But
Listen, I do it for you guys. I do it for the
They're not
audience.
bad.
See, this one I would, because if I'm like, I want an Eggo waffle, but I'm surprisingly too lazy to put that in the toaster oven and then put syrup on it,
Here.
this solves your problem.
Put them in your little bag. There you go. All right.
Thank you for those, Rob.
Sure. So, what do you think? They both pass the fat test?
I'd say they're passable. Yeah, they're not bad.
If you're going to provide them for me, sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. And the cheese dip that passes.
Oh, the cheese dip.
Oh yeah,
Test kitchen.
great.
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going to regret it later.
Same.
Just
Well, yeah, that's
a big pile of Velveeta Rotel and liberal application of a crock pot.
And you're sure you don't want any of this, Dave?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then maybe we'll save this until John's done with his entree.
We have some sort of cookies and cream pile.
My
We might need to take an intermission.
3-course banquet.
All right. Do you have to? What's kind of?
Yeah, I got like 10 minutes. Give or take.
All right. Well, just in time for a history of this film.
Stick around for the Tony facts.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen from 2009. Once again, directed by the wonderful Michael Bay, who brought us other Transformer-y things and Pain and Gain. And I didn't write this down, but something tells me he also did Bad Boys 2. I don't know where I might have gotten that idea.
Or The Rock.
Yeah. So apparently, everyone's favorite Transformers, Skids and Mudflap, their faces are intentionally designed to form the Transformers Autobot logo.
Not true.
I think it is.
I mean, if you then hit that logo with a shovel.
Well, yeah, that's how every Transformer looks for the series. So it's just enough where I think it's believable, but it's also just dumb and why.
Which just makes it more offensive.
Oh yeah, it's just terrible. I think most of us already know this, but at one point in the movie, Sam Witwicky gets a cast on his hand or a bandage.
Yeah, just kind of out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, because he got into a car accident, apparently with Alice, the robot girl for this movie. So he actually needed a cast, so they just kind of...
She didn't have a cast on her ass.
Forced it in there. Well, I think she might have been done shooting at that point. John Turturro was actually allowed to climb the pyramids in Egypt, which, for this...
Good for him, I guess.
Yeah.
Too bad he was allowed to wear that Sector 7 thong.
Yeah, Joe would have liked to see him without that thong.
You know, I almost would have.
You know what? Now that I think about it, yeah. I think him hanging dong would have been more acceptable.
Yeah.
And apparently, in the first preview screening for this, Steven Spielberg was there, and during the Operation Firestorm scene, he was noted as saying, "This is fucking awesome."
Which was Operation Firestorm?
Yeah, what?
When they shot Devastator with the big gun.
Oh.
So, want to guess?
Was there any, drug screening on Steven Spielberg? I need to know what he's taken.
And where his supplier is.
How much do you want to know?
I can't afford it, but...
Because if you want to know, we will jump right to how much money this movie made. That's what he's taking.
No, I already have an idea.
All right, so let's start with the budget.
Well, you haven't talked about how this movie was written during the writer's strike.
Oh, yeah.
And Michael Bay wrote most of the film himself, which explains a lot to me.
We also didn't get into how this is the one that got Megan Fox fired because they basically shoved a camera up her ass.
A few times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But it's there was an interview that was talking about her introductory scene where she's on the bike and talking to him on the phone. It's like, you don't even see my lips while I'm talking to him. There's just a camera riding up my backside.
Well, Megan, no offense, honey, but
Stop right there.
I think I kind of appreciate in the third one that they just introduced a female lead ass first. Because, at this point, who are you trying to fool?
right, you know what you're in for.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but
Oh, so
points for
fucking
transparency.
terrible.
But
Yeah.
let's not encourage this. But yeah, so budget.
I'm gonna say $300 million for the budget.
No, I'm feeling 250.
$1.
I'll go for
$4?
no, 400 million.
400. Oh, okay.
Wow.
I'll go high.
I believe I have to give this to Dave. I believe it was $200 million.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm less upset.
Now to make you upset, guess how much it made?
$1 billion.
Not quite there. 2009. Let's not forget.
2009 movies had made $1 billion.
$800 million.
That's what I was going to go. I was going to say 800.
Safety, it was $799.
I don't know. $750 million.
801.
I'll give it to John.
Okay.
It is 836.
Okay.
God damn it.
Son of a bitch.
Why these movies keep getting made.
Well, I mean, yeah, that number keeps going down every time they release one, though.
Yeah, but they still did, what, 7?
Well, I mean, they did 5 with Bay, right? And then they did
I'm not counting Bumblebee.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 with Michael Bay.
Yeah.
That's still, with diminishing returns every time, that's still
making a lot of money.
That's
crazy.
still money. That's still some money.
Yeah. And
That, again, just makes me think like, oh, if we put this property in the hands of someone competent, I wonder how much that would make.
You'd have to find someone competent for that.
That is tough.
there was a discussion.
Also, just quick side note for the viewers, or for the listeners who aren't getting to view this. Rob did just mock people for not being competent while struggling to fight with his toilet
He's
transformer.
currently using a pry bar.
The
to
tab is
transform
stuck,
the
okay?
transformer.
The tab was stuck.
The
My toilet's tight.
transformer is a toilet.
I like my toilet. My toilet's like I like my men.
There was
Tight and white?
Tight. It's half white. It's half black. Come on.
There was a discussion when I got here about this versus Troll 2 for what's a worse movie. And I think the fact that this made as much money as it did makes it worse for me. Because, like, that makes it hurt more. Troll 2 is just like, oh, this guy didn't, like, this is some goofy director came up with something weird and, was really passionate about something bad. This one was inexcusable.
Well, that's the other thing for me, is just, well, first of all, yeah, Transformers, has a special place in my heart. So knowing what this could be and seeing what it is hurts a lot. But also, yeah, Troll 2, I don't think it was somebody had a passion for it. I think it was just someone wrote some shit script, they repurposed it to be some other shit movie, and no one really put their heart and soul into that.
I believe the director, if I remember right, for a while, really thought he was doing something good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like an Italian director that thought he was making like a legit ass horror movie.
Yeah, I don't think there was malicious intent with Troll 2.
I don't think it's malicious.
He still
no.
thinks it's a legit. He still thinks it's a legit good movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
Just like The Room was black comedy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, I think this guy's just like legit ignorant.
well, Tommy Wiseau is.
I mean, different kinds.
Yeah, all right.
He's not trying to sell underwear.
Yeah. So, that budget purchases you a Shia LaBeouf, a Megan Fox, a Josh Duhamel, a Tyrese Gibson, and a fucking John Turturro. And special shout out to Kevin Dunn and Julie White for being the fucking worst.
No, yeah, do not give them any special shout outs for anything.
I'm not going to bother to call these characters by their names because you don't. Other than Major Lennox, I don't even know if you get their names in this movie.
No.
I don't think
And
so.
Maybe once.
I don't think Kevin Dunn was that bad.
I felt a little bit in that scene at the end where he's him and Sam, like he wants to be by his son's side.
Oh, I didn't feel any emotion. No, I just mean like he wasn't screaming the whole time.
Yeah.
He just like, this guy wants this asshole out of his house.
But he was kind of straight manning it for the wife, for Julie White's character, who was fucking
just awful.
Isn't it? Well, no, yeah, I said actually while we were filming it, like, Rob made some joke about if people were getting weepy over that scene. I said, well, like, he is really selling it, and it could be effective if I didn't already hate every fiber of his being at this point. Which is not a fault on the actor, it's the writer.
Now, I don't know what I expected out of a toilet that turns into a samurai.
Yeah, probably
but
not.
That is a horrible looking samurai robot.
Wow.
He's fat.
Satisfies my expectations.
I like
Did you anticipate the small metal coiled poop?
Yeah. No, that I expected there'd be some sort of poop related thing on a toilet robot.
Okay.
I want to get the urinal one too.
There's a urinal one?
I want to get through this movie.
No, it's never gonna
I believe there's a bidet one as well.
Transformers Revenge of the
Turns
Falling.
into a cat. All right.
Starts in my notes I wrote, fuck you, Rob.
Yep. That's
Then-
what I wrote.
Then Optimus Prime, he's narrating, he's talking about early man, had a propensity for war, and Transformers came here thousands of years ago and stepped on some cavemen.
Yeah, it's, caveman times for reasons. And there's a bunch of what are these supposed to look like? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand the design of these things.
Of the Transformer or the men or what?
Yes. Either.
I was arguing this since the last movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, Michael Bay was like, this is what a caveman looks like. Do this. And then as far as the Transformers go, because the Great Pyramid's going to come into play later, they're
Right,
like,
has
we
to
got to put the fucking Tutankhamun crest on them.
Yeah.
Like they're the pharaoh because they're ancient aliens.
See, that's the only part I was found acceptable. Like, the rest of him he's, I guess, if we're going with this theme, pyramid-shaped, in that his shoulders are, like, 12 feet lower than they should be and 30 feet wider than they should be, and, like, I don't know what the fuck's happening.
That's common in, like, Starscreams like that.
Yeah, but I hate it.
Yeah.
I
Oh, no.
absolutely hate it.
Terrible design.
I don't like how any of these look. I don't think I've ever liked any
Like,
of
how can you look that fat and that thin at the same time, and none of it's acceptable?
But they all, so it's supposed to be the 13 primes. They all look exactly the same.
Yeah, which is villainous, by the way. It's villainous.
Yeah, they look evil.
Yeah.
Which I think, isn't it at this point there's only 7 now? Or, like, because don't they mention it's the 6 primes that come together to seal in the Matrix of Leadership?
Oh, that could be.
Sure.
I don't
yeah.
remember.
Either way, it's not like they're going to respect the canon that much.
I think, honestly, Bay just forgot the number halfway through.
All right.
Also, weirdly, and I guess maybe this because rewrites and things getting cut out or whatever, but this is supposedly to catch or to tie in with the beginnings of Our Planet is Unicron, but the whole thing is how he's going to destroy the sun, which would kill our planet.
It would also kill them. I don't understand. Like, what?
It wouldn't kill the Transformers. They don't need sun. Or
doesn't, like,
plants
Cybertron
or-
not really have a sun?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, but I don't think it's like it's got to have some kind of atmosphere, right?
Cybertron?
They're robots. They don't
yeah,
breathe.
you know,
Yeah, it's a
I
honeycomb.
don't think I have lungs.
Yeah, it's the honeycomb hideout. I forgot.
Well, see that also. Oh God, I didn't want this to go with this
But wait,
long.
so
But
Alright.
this starts getting into the other realm of they're not robots. They're living creatures that are very similar to what we know as robots. But in this movie, I don't know where they land that because we're ripping off limbs and just reattach them like it's nothing.
it doesn't friggin'
But
matter.
they're also
farting and
giving
spitting
birth
and-
out of poop sacks.
Yeah, sure. And I think so maybe I like misread in my head that, like, the sun, if they destroyed the sun, it would, like, go through the whole process and be like supernova, and that presumably
that would,
destroy them.
Well,
But I guess they just suck it like a chupacabra,
I think that was the idea.
and it just turns into a little shriveled paper bag.
And I like how, this, like, self-sustaining fusion reactor we call our sun. They're like, we can't just take some of the energy and let it refresh. No, we're going to take
definitely
the whole fucking thing.
Gotta take it all.
Well, I also like.
To do what? What was the point?
Make Energon.
Harvest energy
Yeah,
from
give
the
them.
sun.
They
power.
they didn't.
Also, if you guys missed this line, apparently we aren't their first. They've done this
Yeah, they've been to a
numerous
bunch of
times
planets.
and just destroyed them.
Yeah, but they
I
never
mean, not
go
with
to
life.
Yeah,
so,
they never go to
yeah,
planets with life.
Okay, and they're fine.
But listen, can't start that discussion.
Yeah, I never set fire to a house with people in it, so I'm cool, right?
Yeah, I know.
Only if it's empty.
So I remember we had a conversation a while back of where Transformer babies come from. And I think what I forgot to ask you at that point, when you're born a Transformer baby, are you fully grown, or do you
Yeah.
actually have to, like, grow up?
Yeah, I think you're fully grown. You just may have to develop skills.
Okay. But you have, like, an adult body.
Yeah,
More or less.
So there's not, like, the question of, like, well, what are they eating to grow?
No.
Okay.
like
That
Megan
we don't have
Fox
to live.
herself. It's an adult brain in a child, or a child's brain in an adult body.
Wow.
Also, like Michael
Shots
Bay.
fired. Yeah, that's.
Yes,
I'd go more that way.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just a penis. In his, inside his skull, like it's just a dick.
A penis in an adult's body.
Yeah.
It's not even a real penis. It's like a drawing
Like,
of a penis.
yeah.
Like his brain fell asleep and somebody drew a dick on it.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
Yes. I like though. I'm willing to bet in that scenario he got drunk and did it to himself.
Probably yes.
I want to get a couple things out of the way because we go to Shanghai, China, where we're going after some sort of transformer.
Sure.
Okay. Because it'll come up a lot. I'll just get the questions out of the way right now. Why do they still continue to fire rifles at a transformer that's made of metal?
Why not?
Humans?
Yeah. Why did the helicopters fly 50 feet off the ground within reaching distance?
Why did they
said
send
transformer?
in ground troops first?
Yeah. Why do we do any of these things? But it's
don't know.
always what we do.
Yeah.
Why did we parachute Optimus Prime in from 30 feet over the ground?
So you do that sweet jump,
when all
transform,
the
jump,
all the other
Transform
robots
from a truck to a parachuting robot back to,
to a truck.
so that
Just,
he can
to drive like 2
transform
feet
back to a robot.
transform
To
into a
But
robot.
that one I'm okay. But presumably, if they had this area evacuated and quarantined and all that, why wasn't the first move drop a bomb on it? That you need your little handheld heat sensor to find this thing. Like, if a handheld one's finding it, from that far away, like the one on the airplane should find it like way, at a safe distance.
You're gonna have to ask the drawing of a dick, Joe.
Yeah. I would give there's like 5 different ways this could have been handled better, but bomb, sure, but potential collateral damage and other things, I don't know, maybe.
Well, they got collateral damage.
Yes, they will get there. But it's also like, at that point, why don't you have like a team drive up in Optimus and be like, everybody evacuate, and then like when they're not looking, the truck transforms and can start dealing with shit instead of...
Bottom line, Nest is still useless.
Yeah.
It irks me that in the first movie they established that a grenade launcher with sabot rounds can kill a Decepticon, but they continue to not use it.
Dave has to go, everybody.
It's been fun. Thank you for having me.
Don't lie to us.
Hope you at
This
least
part has been fun.
enjoyed the bits of Pop-Tart.
Thank you for joining us.
suffering. Do you want any Boston cream donut Pop-Tarts or
No, thank you.
a handful of Tostitos and cheese?
Like one handful of cheese and one handful of
Yeah.
Tostitos.
Go home and scavenge grilled cheese crusts.
Yeah. You look like Winnie the Pooh.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Farewell.
Bye, Dave. Thank you. Huh?
So,
Poor guest Dave. He watched
I know.
the
I
movie.
feel so bad.
yeah, I
Now
know.
doesn't even
You
get
watch
to say
the whole
anything.
movie.
All right. But to make this situation worse, where we have this, it has 2 wheels, it rides like a monowheel gorilla bot thing, and then some other just generic Decepticon.
Who never transforms.
Yeah.
I
That might have just
genuinely-
been a guy in a car
Yeah,
trying to get
I
out of here.
generally
Welcome in.
didn't know that was what was happening.
It was just some Chinese dude. It might have been the guy from. Never mind.
All right. So,
well, if I could just throw in, this is another. I will try and give a compliment. Well, a backhanded compliment because it's probably the best I can muster. But one thing I appreciate with their designs on some of these things is they take advantage of the fact that they're not human.
yeah.
So they don't always, it's not always 2 arms, 2 legs, and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, why just like it's got one wheel it rides on, and then this other giant ass wheel it just hangs over its head?
Flips him over sometimes.
But that's so dumb.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's just
Mono wheels, man.
so.
I'm more concerned with, and this is asking a lot, but to know why Autobots can smell. How did that evolve? How do you like?
It didn't. That's
Yeah,
utter shit.
Because Ironhide can smell the Decepticons.
I'm sorry, that's not true. Maximals and Predacons can probably smell, but this is just bullshit they threw in.
Probably. I mean, we could futz it with just
No, again, that's
random sci-fi garbledy-gook. Like, oh,
Maybe just the English language word "smell" was the closest
like he
thing
senses,
to, yeah.
senses
Yeah,
signal,
sensors,
or
that's
you know,
probably
Yes, that's what I'm
what's
guessing
going
it
on,
is.
sense
but
of signal. Tony, what are you doing? Don't put a space blanket on Woody.
Don't put his grundle up in my face.
Don't
Right.
do things the fans can't see that we're wasting time discussing.
Yeah,
I
at
didn't
least
say
do him
anything.
quietly. You did. No, try.
All right, he pointed. Woody has the most unacceptable face that I've ever seen Woody make. And Woody from Toy Story, not Woody Harrelson.
He has an unacceptable face.
Yeah,
too.
he just has.
No, have you seen the meme of Woody laughing maniacally? It's that face on a toy that was then put on its back and spread eagle in front of me.
Just showing Tony the goods. All right. But this is going to set off a bit of a firestorm here, but we have the arrival of a shitty-ass ice cream truck making all kinds of unacceptable sounds. And that was when I'm like, oh yeah, Skids and Mud
Yeah,
Flap.
these assholes are in this.
How could I forget? And now they don't ever return in the series, right? Like I know I didn't see all
No,
three.
as a matter of fact, in the next movie,
Yeah.
there was such an outpouring of hatred for these characters that Michael Bay was like, if you find Skids and Mudflap in any frame of this movie, I will pay you $10,000.
Oh, that's right. And they're in the background, right?
Yes.
I don't think they
No,
are.
there is like one shot early in the beginning when they go to basically like one of these Air Force hangars that they're hanging out in, and you can see their cars. They're not. It's not them. Nobody rendered the computer, robot versions, but the cars that they are.
In fairness, Nest did buy those cars to provide them to scan to transform. So Nest was like, "We're keeping them.
Yeah, we gotta
We're
use
going to
these.
use them."
I'm willing to bet that's how Michael Bay got out of paying money for that plan.
Just the cars.
Yeah.
Show me your tits.
Yeah, if they don't transform, you can't prove it's them. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
Pass it on
that's
down,
a
Milton.
big old poo pile right there. But it looks like a delicious poo pile.
pile in the
What is
bacon.
this, Rob? I see we got Oreos.
It's food, Joe. Just
We
eat
got
it.
whipped cream. Oh, I'm gonna. It's going in my mouth. Are those brownies too?
I was trying to do this
Or
quietly
caramel?
so we could just enjoy. Okay, so
This is a big deal to me.
it's
This is way more important than Skids and Mudflap.
it's a layer of Oreo cookie crust. Okay, then on top is a layer of
I remember.
I don't remember. It's a layer of Cool Whip and cream cheese and powdered sugar. And on top of that is a layer of more Oreo cookie crumbles. And on top of that is chocolate pudding. And then on top of that is a straight up ass Cool Whip. And then on top of that is more Oreo cookie crumbles.
What does Gary Busey think about it?
Gary Busey thinks there's a goddamn alien.
Yeah.
He's gotta shoot it with a Nerf gun
I think
before
Gary
it comes.
Busey thinks he should stop being played by Adam Sandler.
Remember, Rob, look into the eyes of the Oreo pie. He devours so.
I'm gonna chase that thing. I'm gonna chase it all through a packing meat pack plant.
Also, to clarify,
Kill it with my silver bullet.
Cherry bar bombs at it.
Cherry bomb.
piss on the Yankees. Oh, okay. Thank you. So, just to be clear, though, your plan was to quietly cut this giant cake in front of us without us noticing or mentioning it.
You could
Hand
notice
it out
yeah.
and then stuff our faces while trying to discuss the movie.
okay,
The whole
in fairness,
time no one
stuff
would
in our
notice.
faces.
In fairness to Rob, we're going to be making smacking sounds.
Yeah.
Though the whole time. You know,
True.
whether or not we have a cake.
But I feel like
fapping the whole damn.
this is one of those things you kind of need to address.
Okay, so Skids and Mudflap. I remember them being just nonstop offensive, and this time maybe it's because I've matured over some years, or maybe I've just stopped giving as many fucks. I was just like, why? Why is this here? I understand why Michael Bay did it because he thought this would be funny, but like, what did these two unfortunate Transformers see of human culture that they were like, this is how I'm gonna act?
TikTok.
I wasn't around yet.
Somehow TikTok.
The horrible things that happened in the back of that ice cream truck.
I guess so.
Is that Clint Howard's?
Yes.
That was the ice cream man's truck.
No, I do agree with Joe. Like, I remember them being much worse, and their part is a lot smaller than I remember it. It's not to say they're, excused of their crimes. It's just, like, my memory of it was essentially that the movie's like 90% Skids and Mudflap and Shia LaBeouf screaming, and I now realize it's like 20% Skids and Mudflap, and the rest is Shia LaBeouf and that other kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 80% side bullshit, 2% plot, and then 10% other.
Sounds about right.
So either way, they're they're pretty useless here. They're chasing after this one Decepticon.
They're entirely useless.
Yeah, that's like never transforms. And then we see RC and they're not the twins, but
They say there's a twins, but there's
yeah.
3 of them, obviously.
Well, and I thought the twins were referencing Skids and Mudflap, but there's just 2 other motorcycle robot ladies that make really poor hologram riders.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
Also, just to clarify though, let's not say this other Decepticon shows up. They kill a car. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
We don't know.
That's true. That car's loyalties were never even questioned. It just
Saw a car and
Yeah.
they killed it.
like the police, it ran away. They killed it. But this fucking big monowheel thing just destroys Shanghai. Just destroys everything. There was no plan to contain it. Like no plan for it to fight. That it might try to fight back or escape. And yeah, it's just a bunch of destruction. And Optimus Prime kills it.
Just
And-
point blank shoots it in the face.
Yeah. Again, like after it's defeated, he doesn't, like it doesn't ask for mercy, but like he doesn't consider.
No, it does like a Hail Hydra.
Yeah.
To be fair to Optimus, he does say any last words,
Yep.
I mean,
giving it an opportunity to say its piece before he murders it cold blood.
I guess.
So yeah, this guy's like the fallen shall rise again. Optimus Prime is like, oh, I'm worried about that. And then we cut to Sam Witwicky. And it's immediate, like if this was my first time watching it, I don't think I would, I think still somehow seeing Shia LaBeouf, I'd be like, I'm immediately sad that I have to watch this character do anything.
Yep.
But knowing what I'm in for, it hurt me, like in my gut, it hurt. It's just like, God damn it.
Why does he look like a wrestler this whole time? Like he's been sprayed down with baby oil.
Everyone is in this movie.
They're just sweaty and
Alright.
glistening the whole time.
To that, I will mention a little note you and I had prior to, or at the beginning of watching this, is when you have those questions, remember the answer is because it made Michael Bay hard.
Oh, if I remember right, just going back 1 second, I believe Optimus also referred to the Decepticon as a punk ass.
That was Ironhide.
That was Ironhide?
That was-
Okay.
But
So anyway,
also, I believe shortly before Shia LaBeouf hits the screen, we start on his dogs, because that's what you need.
Oh yeah.
and, this scene can be funny in its concept of it's like, okay, dad wants son out of the house because he wants to do something with his room. Mom is, feeling super emotional because her son's going away. Son's going to college. You could have fun with it, this setup. Michael Bay was just like, crank it to 11.
Yeah.
Dogs fucking, mom's crying uncontrollably, everyone's screaming. And we see that Sam is talking to Michaela on the phone. And he finds in his old sweatshirt that he was wearing the day, he had the battle with the cyber, with the Decepticons. He has a bit of the Allspark shard in his shirt. And it fucking alien style just burns through the floor when he touches it. And goes into the kitchen. And because the Allspark just makes appliances into evil robots.
Yep, just evil ones.
Yeah. The kitchen animates and, starts attacking.
Yeah. Mostly with dicks.
Yep.
One of them does have a serious crotch rocket.
Yeah, one of them straight up farts fire.
I don't know, yeah.
Yep.
But also, just to point out here, as you said, it burns through the floor, and for whatever reason, Shia LaBeouf, we get the full-on, freak out thing he does for this little fire. Like, it's not like stay calm, go outside, get the fire extinguisher, and you're done. No, he has to run around the entire house screaming at the top of his lungs, and, like, grabbing glasses of water, like, ugh.
So one of these freakouts might be effective if you gradually built to them. But like I was saying, he's always on 11.
Yeah.
Like he goes from 0 to 11. Crazy fast. And there's no, like if all he does
everything.
is scream,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything. Even if that's what a person would do in real life. And I don't think like anyone in real life would even panic as much as he does.
No.
But that's like all the characters all the
All
time.
the time.
All of the exposition in this movie is just yelled at
Shouted.
you 1,000 miles an hour. And you're just like, what? What the hell?
All right. And then on top of that, he's an asshole because he's like, he's outside. His parents are under attack. The dogs are getting shot at, you know, in the middle of humping each other. And he's like, Bumblebee! And Bumblebee comes and happens to blow up a good portion of the house, you know, because all the appliances in the house are attacking them. He had to fight back.
And he was in the middle of a FAP in the garage.
Yeah, otherwise they were going to get killed.
And because you essentially called in someone with a grenade launcher to take out a
Yeah.
fly. Like,
To him, a fly. But, like, so he's like, Bumblebee, you fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you can't come to college with me. I'm not allowed to have a car. I can't, you know, it's not like you're a sentient robot that could find some place to hide.
Go somewhere.
Fuck. Like,
Just hang out at Walmart.
no,
while
you
I'm
have
at
to
class.
stay here. And you suck. And I hate you because you blew up part of my house that I put in danger.
Because a child is writing our dialogue.
I will give him a little more credit here because I believe what he's basically saying is I think he's trying to encourage him to go join Nest.
Mm-hmm.
So he can like go off and be, you know.
But nothing is mentioned
Hero?
about that.
Yeah.
Nothing is set up about that. Like, why do we have 20 minutes of him and his asshole parents just yelling at each other instead of like a setup of...
And 2 lines about what's going on between Bumblebee and our main character.
Right, like,
Yeah.
why doesn't Optimus talk to Sam about Bumblebee joining Nest? Or why doesn't
Yeah.
it show a scene of Optimus and Bumblebee talking? Or
Like we get
not
one
about
conversation
robots.
with Optimus and Sam. And it's just Sam going like,
Yeah. But I want to say here, though, again, my backhanded compliments. I think he was trying to get Bumblebee to go out and have a life outside of the garage where he can't really transform and do things. But on the other hand, he's also saying, you can leave me now. Your guarding jobs are done. I'm not being attacked by Decepticons anymore after he just was attacked by a bunch of Decepticon robot things. Like,
I would even have accepted it if Bumblebee just started playing Weezer's In the Garage song.
okay.
So either way, Michaela shows up.
Oh yeah, Bumblebee's voice is broken again. Apparently,
just-
even
yeah,
it was fixed after. The
I
first
forgot to
movie.
mention that in the history, but apparently, just because it tested well, or they did well, whatever. They decided to do it again. So once again, we got a comic in the middle where it got his voice box got damaged again.
And it's not like I bet it didn't test well
No one
because people liked it. I think it tested well just because they're like, yes, one character is not screaming the entire time.
I would argue it's probably not even necessarily audiences that tested well. It tested well with whoever was like, oh, we can get more like references and commercials and paid advertisements. Yay.
Spielberg and his cocaine.
So Michaela shows up and immediately like takes off most of her clothes because she's wearing like a dress underneath, and she wants to look pretty for Sam or whatever because she wants him to tell her that he loves her. And like Sam's a man child and just can't do it.
This is so...
Like it's not fucking hard. Like I understand he's supposed to be like, you know, in late teens where maybe that's harder, but like for example, I hate John Stanley and everything he stands for. We disagree on everything. John, I love you. Like a brother. You've been there for me when I needed you. It's not hard. Like,
But notice he didn't say it to me.
you made me watch this fucking thing. It's going to be a little while before I love you.
I love you, Joe. Like the other little brother I wish I never had.
John's got a lot of little brothers who wish he never
So
had.
fucking old.
But yeah, even more than that, like in a different movie, in a different script, like this could be an acceptable thing. Like I was thinking, I don't know if this has happened, but if this was if Kurt Russell ever was a character like this, where it's like, you know, I can't say I love you, like I adore you. Oh, it means the same thing. What's the problem? Like
He
I
could
could
pull it
see,
off.
yeah, I could see that working. But in this, again, just because everything he does makes him seem like a shitty, miserable person, it's just awful and unpleasant to watch.
Well, see,
But there would also be like some setup of where he was like burned in the past.
yeah,
Yeah.
And,
yeah,
like,
there'd
some
be something to
explanation
it.
of why he's hung up. It's not just some weird ass
Also,
Michael Bay. Dick
instead of a
thing.
lot of running and screaming, he would have just gone, fuck you, and thrown a stick of dynamite at all the appliances in the kitchen.
That's fair too.
That
Also,
would've been handled.
at the end, where there's growth and he finally says, I love you, we would see it progress throughout the movie instead of just happening.
Can we just have a wrestler that, I mean, not a wrestler, a transformer that transforms into Kurt Russell?
Yes.
That was just robot in disguise form.
I'm cool with that.
I mean,
So he's a pretender that is Kurt Russell.
could it be? Could it
got
be
that
his,
lady in this.
the what is it? Midnight Express. What's the name of the truck?
Oh, Pork Chop Express.
Pork Chop
That would be
Express.
pretty cool. Yeah.
We should, dude.
Yeah.
We should write to Hasbro because they've been doing the collab sets.
Yeah.
Also, fuck you, because, like, you totally, just by asking that, you shut down my brain, and all I could think was the Polar Express. I'm like, that's
Kurt
not
Russell
it.
in the Polar Express. You remember that, right?
He would have jumped out of that fucking train. But anyway.
It's a train that transforms into a robot that somehow is still more lifelike looking than any of the characters in the Polar Express.
So,
There is more if anybody wants more.
there's one of these robots survives. He turns into an RC truck and he's following Michaela around because she has the shard of the
But that's not one of those robots. That's a totally different robot.
that's different. Okay, whatever.
'Cause
It's
he's
some other
I know.
robot.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know either.
It doesn't show where he came from, but he just yells some dialogue at some point. It's like,
Oh, but also, yeah, fuck it, I'll mention it now, because why not? As we will find out through the course of this movie, after the events of New York, not the cool Avenger ones, or was it LA? Whatever. After the last movie, there isn't anything left of the Allspark except one shard that they know about that the military kept locked in a super secret, well secure building, whatever, under lock and key and all that shit. So they know the potential issues with this.
Mm-hmm.
Sam should know the potential issues of this.
Yeah.
Yet he finds a shard that then makes his kitchen attack him, shoves it in like a pillbox and sticks it in his girlfriend's pocket.
Yeah.
Fuck this kid.
Mm-hmm.
So hard.
he was hoping
So-
it would make her vibrator come to life.
But then he would definitely lose her.
So now
That's the thing.
Next time she's straddling a motorcycle, the motorcycle could... Anyway.
so we see Soundwave. He's a satellite. He's probably the only one of these Transformers I like. I don't like that he tentacle violates the satellite, but like everything he's doing seems to be pretty smart. And like for the most part, I'm like, yeah, okay. He's just
But what does he do?
he just listens to the people instead of screaming.
Well, there's
Yeah,
that.
And then he just, he calmly tells people the information and relays it in a way that, they understand. He advances the plot.
Yeah, he is a communications expert who actually communicates and plans things
Yeah,
out and tells
that's
people where to
fair.
go.
That's fair.
That's enough.
Actually, yeah,
I just
he is my hero.
He is just exposition bot, basically.
Well,
Just
yeah,
like,
but he
we found the thing. Go
much
get
like
the thing.
Boba Fett becomes the MVP by doing the least.
This is like kids playing in the backyard. The movie is what this is.
So we go to Nest headquarters, and we see Skids and Mudflap advance the plot by having a random fight over which car they get to be. And then some douchebag in a suit, some director shows up, and he's like, I got a presidential order that says I get to be a dick. And
Sorry, but also just so Skids and Mudflap, which we saw
Yeah.
in one previous scene, are two different robots that form together to make one vehicle.
Yeah.
Suddenly now they turn into two separate vehicles.
yeah.
It's never discussed how or why. I don't know who the fuck they are even really.
Did we talk about their vehicle at all? Their ice cream truck?
Yeah.
I mean, other
We
than it being
we
Clint Howard's.
we hypothesized that's why they are how they are, because they
You want to
learned
mention the
from that
dirty
truck.
things on it?
It just is like it says suck my popsicle on it.
Yep.
Decepticons suck my popsicle.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're just gross. I hate them.
Oh yeah, it's all.
As far as I
Dumb.
can tell, while they are very much capable of pissing on things, none of these robots have dicks. One of them has a scrotum.
Yeah.
So why
Sort of.
why suck my popsicle? Why is that a thing any of them would say?
Why is anything they say a thing they would say?
That's it. So
Oh, we'll get to some of that later too, but yeah,
So wait,
also
2009. All right, so cable TV.
uh-huh.
So you back it up a couple more years, assuming they've been around. We're talking Jerry Springer and Ricky Lake.
I mean,
I get where like they could have picked up the phrases,
Yeah.
but why they would want to use them.
but that's how they talk, though.
Because,
yeah.
like, why would they think that that's an insult that a Decepticon would understand or care about?
They don't, but it made the little penis drawn on Michael Bay's brain laugh. So.
Exactly.
So,
Because it made Michael Bay hard.
yeah. Optimus Prime, now, he shows up at the Nest headquarters, and he's like, I'm going to transform and talk to, this general guy. And it's almost going to be in frame. It's almost going to be like where you can see all of it.
But here's the thing: they make a point where they're like, "We're gonna let you talk to the leader of the Autobots, but we can't let you see him."
Yeah.
Why?
What?
Yeah, you've seen him before.
Yeah. What?
Well, even if they haven't,
Yeah.
is it so he can go undercover somewhere? Because
So-
how?
all these people that are here physically
Yeah.
can see him.
Well, that also...
This dude that just walked in can see him.
And,
But
like,
you've seen.
If he's a robot, you're not gonna mistake him for something else.
You're
Yeah.
the same.
If he's a vehicle, he could be any fucking vehicle he
Yeah.
wants.
You're the same
so-
dickbag that was on the base when the helicopter guy showed up
Yeah.
in the first movie.
And assuming that assuming the Decepticons, like, are listening, they know what he looks like anyway. Like,
Yeah, none of that makes sense.
Yeah.
None of that makes sense.
Damn it, Bobby! You stop turning into that truck, or I'm gonna come down there.
so, the director here, Director Galloway, he's mad Shanghai got destroyed. Justifiably so.
Yeah,
He's mad that Optimus Prime has brought a war to his planet. Justifiably so.
it's not really Optimus' fault, but
yeah.
I get where he's coming
But
from.
he's such a dick.
And then he just basically is like, I'm going to do a little montage of everything from the last movie that's important. And Soundwave just hijacks that montage and listens to it all and relays it to all the other Decepticons. So now they know where the shard of the Allspark is.
Megatron, these guys are so friggin' stupid.
Hey, Rob, what kind of character would best complement Shia LaBeouf that, should follow him around the whole movie?
I would say obviously an insane screaming lunatic.
Yeah.
Can we get one of those?
We sure can.
Because he's got a roommate.
Yeah, at college. And it's just terrible. Everyone's screaming fast. He's the real effing deal. He's got some website about everything on the internet being true and like showing like visions of the Transformers or videos of the Transformers.
This has aged well, hasn't it?
And he sells kitten calendars
Yep.
because that's
He
funny.
also-
It's a funny joke.
We kind of
It's funny.
That was about as close as it came to a funny
we
joke.
touched this topic a little bit, but it's largely glazed over. But he's got a serial killer-esque wall of ladies from the college.
Yeah.
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 So
The fuck?
I would be okay if that was like a wall of pinups, because like it's a college guy. You know, he's shallow and stupid, but like he's a college guy. I'll accept it. But those look like either trophy pictures of like I've slept with this girl and took her picture, or like
And he has.
this is the girl's mugshot after I kidnapped her.
Yeah, no. It is said either directly or indirectly.
So he-
These are all the women that he hacked the college stuff to be in the same dorm room with that.
To explain why Michael Bay insisted there would only be hot girls in the dorm.
Yeah,
Which is why, the dorm was a Victoria's Secret catalog.
exactly.
But we don't got time
And
to worry
Ola,
about
not
that.
one of the new ones.
Because Sam's mom ate a bunch of edibles, and now she's high.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Yep.
It's good. This is funny, though.
Yeah.
I like how she's acting high.
Mm-hmm.
The way high people do. She's acting drunk, is the funny thing.
Yeah.
She's not acting high.
Sort of.
No, because if she was high, she would shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she
She's
just sit
definitely-
there and...
Yeah, she's definitely not high, but I can't even fully claim it as drunk because it's just.
She might, like, laugh forever about one thing someone said, but, like, she's not going to be fucking running around the quad
Yeah,
talking to
Yeah, no,
everybody.
she'd be
Telling
like,
them how her son lost his virginity,
like there's
and
pie
she
in this? Are you
heard.
serious?
I could accept if she was out there, like, telling everyone
My
to
mom
slow
would do
down or
that.
something. Well, nothing's going to stop your mom from talking to everybody. I love you, Miss Stanley, but it's the truth.
See, just said it twice.
Yeah. All right, so, meanwhile... Soundwave covertly just fires a fucking dog from space.
Yep.
Yeah.
just poops out a dog from the satellite.
Yeah. We're all going to do it later tonight.
Gets past NASA, gets past, everyone at this base, and it gets right up to this bunker where they have things stored. And it just what's that?
Where?
What's at an Air Force base, right? Or,
Well, yeah, but where it proceeds to throw up a bird.
To just vomit out a 2D robot from its mouth through a bunch of little nanite balls.
It's a bunch of balls.
Yeah. And you know, this
he is the old woman who swallowed a fly.
Yeah, I'm okay with this. This is
mouthful of balls.
Yeah, this is a fine little stealth insertion of a robot that assembles itself from some nanites, and I kind of like the little 2D thing.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah,
it's just dumb the way they do it.
Yeah. That's this movie in a nutshell. Because it is it's cool, you know, you have nanites forming a robot. That's cool. It's got this like razor thin body. That's kind of neat too. But then when it turns to the side, you see it's like
its eye.
Well, not even the eye, but it looks like when birds get angry and they fluff all their feathers. Like it's just got bits hanging out all over the place. I'm like, what the fuck is why? Why is this happening?
Well, I think this would have been cool if someone like hit it with a rifle or something and it just snapped in half. But maybe it could like form.
Yeah, it's nanites. It can reform.
It could reform. Yeah. But either way, you know, the dog attacks from outside and it's got like guns on its back and it's running around. And this is a halfway serviceable battle, but it cuts immediately to a frat party.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to lie. I watched this in segments, and this was the end of the first segment. And when I came back, I just said I can't do it, and I just skipped the entire frat party scene. I can't. I heard
you son of a
there
bitch.
was some sort of bad cover of some song that I don't remember now.
Burning Down the House.
Burning Down the House. Yeah, just
David
terrible,
Bowie, I believe. But who did the
Talking
cover?
Somebody else before that too.
Was
but
it Talking Heads?
Wasn't it that did Burning Down the House? Or it could be David Bowie. I forget.
I don't remember either.
You know what? It's a good song though.
But I think is it Fall Out Boy?
I don't know.
It is a Fall Out Boy adjacent, if not Fall Out Boy directly.
So
I know I got a little disheartened when I heard the actual Green Day in this movie. But
There's actual Green Day?
Yeah, the 21 Guns.
Oh,
yeah, when they're going into the dorm.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they.
But that was Green Day, one of the Green Day's later albums, where they sound like Linkin Park.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, it's just more Linkin Park.
I see where you're getting.
Also, they decided they took Linkin Park's Divide and decided to make that the background score for half of these scenes.
Yeah.
That was a choice.
It was a conscious decision.
Yeah.
In theory.
All right, so
John, you're so quiet.
It's Michael
You've
Bay.
said nothing this whole time. Are you just soaking it all in?
That's what happens when you set about to watch the movie and then proceed to pass out before you can start the movie.
What's your
John fall asleep?
Yeah, he sure did. What's your favorite? What's your favorite character in this film, John?
I'll accept least hated character.
Going off memory.
My least hated character.
Mm-hmm.
He's now more melted than the cheese,
Yeah.
which he's been eating. He's got the itis pretty bad over there.
Yeah, no, I couldn't even finish my
He's going down.
whatever you call that thing is that you made that is delicious, but
He'll be on the floor before this is over.
Mm-hmm. I'd be sucking my dick.
I think my least hated character would probably be Michaela, because at least I like to look at her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also just say my anger is rising as we're going along. Because you picked it, you fell asleep during it, you skipped scenes. I'm the only motherfucker that sat through this
It
shit.
wasn't even during it, Tony.
I also sat through it.
Yeah, but you picked it.
That's the
It's
only.
your fault.
That's the only scene I skipped.
Don't blame me.
And then still, how many scenes did I get to skip, Joe?
Blame the D20 of fate.
Well,
and my poor rolling.
You picked it.
you're bigger than Rob. You could just grab the mouse and drag it ahead a bit. Be like, I'm making an executive decision.
Next time, baby. Next time.
So
Yeah, you'll be replaced. Just like
yeah, I'm cool with that too.
yeah, he's like, they don't have to watch these anymore.
All right,
You win-win.
Tune in next episode when Don Cheadle will be our guest.
Yeah. So, all right.
That'd be awesome.
When I came back to the plot, and I'm assuming I didn't miss anything, he's got the other hot girl, Alice, in Bumblebee. And Bumblebee is just beating the shit out of this woman.
And who is the other hot girl played by?
I don't know.
Tony, this is your job.
I Technically, the cast is my job.
Well, getting the information is Tony's job.
Isabella Lucas.
Okay. So, other hot girl.
She's
Yeah, did that help anything?
crushing hard on Sam.
Oh, definitely not.
And now, granted, Bumblebee can't just say she's a Decepticon.
But that was one of my questions during this. Like, can't he? Like, I know you probably don't have a clip that says Decepticon, but
Yeah.
did you guys not work out something to let you know?
He could, he should have a clip of, like, that's a bad person or something
Yeah.
like that.
But, I mean, he is trying to say she's a bad person, but that also leads to the question then is, like, does he realize she's a Decepticon, or is he just a giant dick?
He does know that Sam is an idiot.
And the fact that he did not play that girl as poison,
That's a
Yeah.
missed opportunity.
pretty terrible.
But, like, because if he doesn't realize she's a robot, he tried to give her a brain injury.
So,
It's because he doesn't want, Sam to fall for her instead of Michaela. He likes Michaela.
Yeah, that's right. He
That's-
likes having Mikhail lie on top of him while she gets railed by Sam.
Yeah, but then you...
Well, plus,
you
wasn't
hit-
she good at, like, fixing cars and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
But, like, you hit the brakes and you, like, you kick the seat to the side so she falls out. You don't slam her face into the fucking thing.
yeah. So he, he beats the hell out of her and then essentially just pees on her. Somehow he can shoot yellow fluid into the passenger compartment. Transformers.
Yeah. I'm
So
guessing that's antifreeze?
Yeah, it's in my mouth, was the line I...
Yeah. So, Bumblebee basically kicks her out, then takes Sam to Optimus Prime. And Optimus Prime's like, hey, can you talk to your planet? Maybe try to convince them I'm cool. And Sam's like, you, looked at me.
Yeah, have you met me?
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't be in charge of convincing anybody to do anything. And Optimus Prime's like, yeah, I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah.
I couldn't sell a Braille book to a blind librarian.
Yeah. First of all, the military stopped talking to me a long time ago. And also, I can barely tie my shoes. So...
He's basically, I want to have a normal life, even though nothing about my life is normal, and I'm the furthest from a normal person.
And again, though, here's where we find out, like, I'm coming to you because things are getting dire because the Decepticons stole this important shard.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell me anything about that? Shards ringing any bells? Like the one that you gave to your girlfriend that turned your kitchen to life, that is putting weird visions into your head?
Nope.
No.
No time to
Sorry,
talk about that.
sorry, Optimus. I'm about as trustworthy as Ezra Miller at a girl's sleepover party.
Also, why are we meeting in a graveyard? But
Because nobody will notice the 30-foot
Yeah.
robot standing in a graveyard, Joe.
Yeah, because he's hidden.
um,
So the government
Robots
can't
among
see
the
him.
dead.
so meanwhile, we cut to in the North Atlantic. There is a cargo ship that's got a bunch of construction vehicles on it, and the doggo that got fired from space gets fired onto the. Is it the same doggo, or does he
Same.
he just goes back up to space somehow? Yeah,
Maybe not.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming
There's
it looks
like
the
20
same.
of
But
everybody.
that's a very good point.
So basically
That was supposed to be Ravage, right?
It was supposed to be Ravage.
So Ravage and the Constructicons jump off the ship. And this submarine's like, oh, we got some sonar contacts. They're diving so fast. And it's like, they're just sinking.
Yeah,
Like-
they're singing.
But anyway, so now they're monitoring what's going on. They go down to find Megatron's corpse. And they murder someone, just some Decepticon. Because there's this little doctor robot that has to have the German accent. Because it's a doctor.
Right.
Yeah. Evil Doctor.
An evil doctor.
Yeah.
And so
Which, yeah, this is another one where I'm like, so I thought he needed the parts to rebuild Megatron, but then he just hits Megatron with the shard, and Megatron comes back.
Well, Tony, didn't you get it from the explanation that he gave when he said, need parts, something garbled something, and then they just killed that guy? Didn't you understand everything he was trying to
said
convey?
something like, Kelsey's the one!
Yeah.
Do it now!
Which, a couple things with this already. One, I don't know why these are Constructicons other than, that's what we've rendered and that's what we're using over and over again for everybody. Two, we've seen numerous times how they can turn into like whatever vehicle they want. So why didn't they turn into like a sub here or something?
Yeah.
But 3, I really wanted towards the end when we're like, we're going to form Devastator. They just had like that one hole or something where that little guy they tore apart was.
It's like, oh, shit,
Yeah, like,
we killed Carl.
Yeah, we don't have that right arm
But
piece, do we?
Devastator wasn't even like a dedicated combiner. He was just like, whatever's around, I'm just gonna suck it up into me, and that's me now.
So
I guess because
There's a wolf over there. Okay, it's a foot now.
So Decepticons, well, just Transformers in general. I know no one cares, but how did they deal with the deep water pressure, and how did they get back up out of the water? They just do. It's not even like they turned into vehicles. They just
Megatron had rockets on his back. I don't know how any of the other ones did, but
Megatron I'll accept because he turns into a few different things. A lot of them fly.
Oh wait,
I assume them just being robots handles the pressure.
I will give them a backhanded compliment again. Like I don't know what water pressure they can take because Transformer. But
their durability seems to change.
Drastically.
Convenience.
But in this scene, it just get resolved when Megatron comes back to life, flies up out of the water and to Saturn or something. He's just out in space.
Goes to the maybe that's the moon.
So
maybe not.
Presumably, in that time, they could have just walked back to shore.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. So all right, they killed the submarine on the way up for good measure.
Yeah.
And now
Megatron has a talk with the Fallen.
Well, first he has to smack Starscream around, which true to character. You gotta do that. It's gotta. He's like, even when I'm dead, I'm still in charge.
I mean, I appreciate that they kind of worked that dynamic in, but it's just weirdly forced and doesn't really make sense.
We also
Starscream doesn't actually have a personality. So
we also get a weird moment where the impression I got is basically Starscream went back to wherever this is and just jerked off into a bunch of socks to make babies.
He
I don't know.
Knocked up the Fallen, who pumped him out like the alien queen.
Maybe.
We meet this Fallen guy, and he's supposed to be a badass, but he appears to just be like chained to a beanbag chair.
He looks like Mr. Frump in the Iron Lung.
Yeah,
he is.
Like how melty John looked before when the cheese death and the cake were hitting him.
Yeah,
like that's just how he lives. He's just like, oh God.
Somehow being this giant robot, somehow less like menacing than what was the older guy from Breaking Bad who could only ring the bell?
I don't remember.
Whatever.
Megatron, you gotta come here.
So
here's what I need: the matrix of leadership. Get Optimus Prime. He's the only one that can stop me.
So this guy's an outright badass,
ass.
And a fat ass. And he's like, okay, there's a Prime out there, and that's the only thing that can stop me. So I'm just going to wallow in my own filth until someone else takes care of that problem. Then we're good.
Get me my rag on a stick. It's bath time.
Yeah, because I guess the idea is he needed to recover from his previous battle
a billion years ago.
So he's like, okay, find the boy. The boy will find Optimus. Where's the boy? He's in Rainn Wilson's classroom. Why the fuck's he in this film? But
because the Office was still in the air and somebody cared.
Or was the Office just ended?
I think
2009. I think it was still going.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way, like
this was like the waning years.
This was when he knew it wouldn't last forever, so he was looking for.
He started doing all his little bit parts. Yeah, he was in that superhero movie, and
that movie was fucking dark.
Yeah.
It's like time to stretch my wings. What, you ignorant slut? Okay.
So, he. What you call it? Like. Every Michael Bay character, he's speaking way too fast. He's just yelling stuff. He's doing a bunch of things that are outrageous. And like, of course, he has like the women fawning over him because he's so quirky.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. He bites an apple, drops it on the ground, and then tells a woman to finish it for him.
That's right.
And again, because this is written by a Maxim magazine in human form. He says something about Virgo, the virgin, and then all the girls have a little like titter.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck is happening?
Who talks like this and what women act like that?
So basically, he watched Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, he
Oh,
likes
yeah.
that.
Women love apples.
That's right. And obviously, Rainn Wilson is a dead ringer for Harrison
yes.
Ford
Yeah.
in his prime.
Easy switch out.
Yep. All right. So
You might as well be the same person.
Although, spoiler alert, guys, but it's not even going to work when you try and switch out Harrison Ford with Shia LaBeouf.
So Sam flips out, just reads his whole physics textbook, says Einstein's wrong, starts talking a bunch of gibberish, and writes a bunch of whatnot down on the board. And Ray Wilson's just like, get the fuck out of my classroom.
Yeah,
And
rightly
proper
so.
response.
It was because it's meant to
like-
be like this big Goodwill Hunting moment, except Michael Bay doesn't know how to write human beings.
All right. So
So it's just like, all right, I can't explain it without saying an offensive word, so I'll just leave it.
all right. Thank you.
Now I'm gonna throw.
Just do it, Ryan.
Now, when I say the word retard, I'm not talking about people with actual like situations. I feel for those folks. I'm talking about just you know what? Continue.
Okay. Thank you.
How about
John.
it looks like he's having a seizure?
So
That's offensive to people with seizures. John, can I have some cheese?
he calls
Please.
Michaela,
Sorry.
just
Sure,
freaking
yeah.
out
Thank
and
you.
screaming at everyone around him. And he's like, I touched the spark, now I'm going crazy. Michaela's like, dude, you've always been crazy.
You've always been revolting.
And he's like, okay, get the spark. She's like, I'll get the spark, I'm going to fly
Thank you,
over to
sir.
see you. And he's like, all right, watch out for that Joe Pesci in robot form sneaking up on you. And the Joe Pesci robot's like, don't worry, I'm going to step on a mousetrap, which is going to cause me pain somehow on my tire.
Yes.
And then I'm going to roll over one of those sticky traps. And,
Got nerve endings in my tires.
yeah, Michaela just kicks his ass, torches his eye,
Right.
and throws him in a box, takes him to Philadelphia. So now Sam just goes back to his dorm, freaks out, trashes everything, paints glyphs all over the walls. Alice comes in and with whatever this other useless guy is. Was it Leo?
Sure.
Yeah.
Comes in with Leo, throws Leo out, and is like, "Oh my god, the way you're just vandalizing the room, so hot."
The way you seem to be having a nervous breakdown or some kind of episode or whatever, yeah, I've got to have you now.
By the way, I have some sort of ass spike. And don't worry, it could come out the other end too. So
Oh, and yeah, be very much aware that's only in there for the ass shot.
yeah. Oh
it
yeah.
doesn't do anything.
So it retracts right as
Yeah.
Michaela walks in. Michaela like freaks out and leaves, but then
Yeah, well, if that was the thing she used to attack him, I might give it a pass. But it literally, like, we see the ass shot, the little tail comes out, and then it goes right back in.
But we don't really see her ass, though.
you see enough of it.
Yeah, it's-
I did not see enough of it.
you might not see enough of it, but you see as much as she was going to allow Michael Bay to film.
Well, she lied on top of Shia LaBeouf on a bed, and Michael Bay began lifting up the end of her dress. She said when,
Yeah,
and then he's like, "Okay, we'll go with that."
exactly.
Michael Bay was like, Steven, can I have another $50 million?
Anything for you, Michael.
For the sexual harassments that
Yeah.
I'm going to have at the end of this.
So, Sam's screaming is so bad when Michaela comes back in the room with Leo. At this point, Alice is now doing full, like, tendril tongue. I honestly, if you put Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox next to each other and had them both scream to see who could achieve the highest pitch, I think Shia LaBeouf would win. Mm-hmm. I mean, actually, it's kind of impressive that his voice can get that high, but it's so fucking awful.
I mean, put him next to Newt from Aliens. I think you couldn't tell the difference.
But again, part of the problem being his screaming fit he's having here is the same exact one he had when he essentially dropped a match when he was in his bedroom.
No, it's the same one he has for everything. He only knows one setting. Mm-hmm. All right, so we get this stupid chase through a library,
Oh, jeez.
and then Michaela hotwires a car,
Oh, you go.
runs Alice over with it. They drive off, but they don't get very far before this Pavlo helicopter. What's the guy's name? Breakdown, breakout, slap nuts,
Blackout.
blackout.
It's not Blackout.
Crack Whore,
It's not Blackout?
Ring
No.
Ding,
This one is Grindor.
Grindor. Oh, it's a new
Blackout
one.
died in the first one.
Okay.
So now Sam's getting picked up on Grindr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's getting swiped. He's getting swiped on Grindr.
Sure.
Somebody give me more cheese. This wasn't enough cheese.
Fun fact about the Pavlo helicopter made
It
right
sucks.
here in Stratford, Connecticut.
Thank you, sir. Not that we're doxing it. We don't live in Connecticut, in Stratford. Not
Well, technically we don't.
technically, we don't. Realistically, we don't.
Yeah.
Wow, are we almost done with that cheese?
Down.
Damn, dude. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
All right.
I'm gonna be.
So the helicopter just
Woo-wee.
drops them from
Thank
like
you, sir.
100 feet up,
Yeah.
just right through the roof of this building. Just
They're
dead.
all kinds of
Just
dead. Yeah, they're all kinds of dead.
Cuts the car in half, dead. And then like Megatron shows up and he's like, I got like human torturing, like grabby arms in my feet. I'm gonna grab you and talk about stripping the flesh off of you. But first, I'm gonna, get the doctor to, make you to put this weird grody bug in you and read your memories.
Yeah.
Sure.
And again, this is the point where I completely lost it. Because number one, yeah, the helicopter comes down, shoots a grappling hook or whatever through the roof. It's not enough that that's happening, and they are now getting lifted off the ground. But another truck hits them, so they're now spinning. One of them's hanging out of the door.
Yeah.
They get dropped through this building, and Megatron tells the doctor to show up. The doctor then calls something else to show up that goes into his brain
Yep.
that
Enjoy the
shows
bidet.
his memories.
Enjoy the bidet.
Yeah, yeah.
And in doing so, they know he has the symbols in him, which I guess is supposed to be a map. But I don't know why it can show them these images, but it doesn't have them. So he has to get back into his brain. I'm just, I can't follow it anymore. I don't know what's happening.
So I don't think anybody fully knew 100% what was happening here.
Yeah, it's like we need the shard, but we got one of the shards. But maybe we used it up reviving Megatron.
I think the medical term is called spazzing out.
Yeah, we need the other shard, but maybe the other shard got used up already,
So-
and it's only in him now.
Can it get
I don't
used
know.
up? How does it work? I don't even know.
Optimus Prime fires up his Lincoln Park and bursts through the ceiling while the other Autobots show up.
Yeah, what did Bumblebee like put a tile in Shia LaBeouf's ass or something?
So, they grab everyone. Well, they grab Bumblebee grabs Leo and Michaela, and then I guess Optimus grabs Sam, drives off. But Megatron's some sort of weird tumbler tank sort of thing now. Whatever, he could be whatever he wants. He's not so concerned about transforming into actual things.
Yeah, no.
He comes up, starts fighting Optimus. Optimus is just beating his ass. And then so we got this guy's name is Grinder and Starscream show up.
Yep.
And the three of them just sort of the gang beat Optimus for a while. Optimus does kill Grinder, but
Now, Optimus is kicking the shit out of these guys for the majority
he's doing okay.
of this fight.
Yeah.
Until they three team him.
Yeah, Grinder, I don't know what he was thinking, like, hitting him with a rotor was going to do, but he's like, it's all I got.
Well, let's see. Let's hit you with a rotor, Joe, and see how you feel about that.
I'm not a 30-foot tall, 10-ton metal robot.
Oh, you're not?
That-
Oh, I'm just having cheese hallucinations.
Yeah,
then.
Rob, I'm pretty sure you're going to pass out.
Yeah, I might. Can't seem to breathe under my own power anymore.
Does this help?
It does.
Oh, does it?
It does.
Not with me.
I'll get
I
the
needed
adrenaline going.
I needed some fresh air.
So, all right. Ultimately, Megatron stabs Optimus through the back, and now the Fallen is like, okay, the Prime's dead. I guess I should do stuff now.
Yeah.
And
Safe for me to come out.
Sam's running away, and the other Autobots show up, pick him up, and do like a fighting retreat.
In true, like, action movie police fashion, they show up like 2 seconds after
Yep.
all the action is over.
So now Megatron's like, all right, Optimus is dead. Let's just tell the world we're here. And, they call in some Decepticons from somewhere and should I call it? The Decepticons arrive by just falling through an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, I was unaware the Decepticons were stealthing up to this point. Like,
Yeah. Well, I guess theoretically, after, somehow the humans successfully covered up the fact that, they had that big battle in whatever that city was in the first movie. Assuming that is even possible. They covered it up. Now the Decepticons are like, okay, we're outnumbered. And Optimus Prime's a badass. Let's hide.
Yeah, that one I do believe, because otherwise, like, you just have giant robots walking down the street shooting people. Like,
So, now this whole aircraft carrier gets destroyed, and it mentions they lose all hands. So,
they got a couple feet left, though.
yeah, 5,000 people just dead right there. Great.
It's fine.
I'm in a good mood now.
also, they showed up.
Mm-hmm.
They've dived through an aircraft carrier with a bunch of different, planes and stuff on it,
Yep.
right? So what do all of them show up as? Construction vehicles.
Yeah, well.
Makes sense.
Well, the construction vehicles were already here at this point, right?
No, but they're all... throughout
That's
the
true. A lot of
movie,
the other ones are
they're all construction
It's
vehicles.
like all the same.
Yeah, it's weird because, you would think you'd have an F-18 Hornet right there. You'd have, like, the intruder bomber. You'd have, like, the Sea Stallion helicopter. You'd have a bunch of different cool things you could turn into.
You have pre-existing assets, is what it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah, one of which being broadside was a fucking aircraft carrier.
No. Pre-existing assets is in whatever 3D models you've already made.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, that is the true
You
issue.
only
So
have $250 million.
that's also why I had a little chuckle to myself towards the very end when we have our big battle. I noticed the one Decepticon that shows up in vehicle form.
is just the same guy that Optimus killed in the first movie.
Yes.
Bone
It's
Crusher.
just that one vehicle in vehicle form. Like, you don't even see it in the battle.
Well, maybe that guy was waiting for the first one to die, so he really wanted that for him, and now he's like, dibs.
It's like, that's me.
So anyway,
I want that big arm.
Sam's parents are off in Paris. It's not funny. They get captured. You're like, good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even bring them out later. Just squish them in your fist right now. Squish them to pulp.
Tell us during the credits
Yeah.
that they were killed. Have an in memoriam at the end of the movie.
I'll take them. Just throw them up in the air so they like Team Rocket away. Done.
That works.
That's fine.
All
I would
right.
also accept a post-credit scene where it's just Sam getting a letter or like, so Will, my parents are dead.
Yes!
Yeah, just end credit.
What I've done.
Well, maybe like do like at the end of Tropic Thunder where it's like Tom Cruise dancing. Just have Shia LaBeouf doing a little happy dance.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He could be happy, he could be sad, I don't care.
Before he gets crushed by a comet.
yeah.
Or just a big Monty Python foot. I don't care.
The sun hopping up and down.
I'm saved.
So the Decepticons basically send out a message. They're like, yo, world, Sam, give him to us, or we're going to hurt you.
Yeah, we're bad guys, I guess.
And then
Can't
back
tell.
at Nest, they just fucking drop Optimus's corpse.
Oh my god. This is the so in the theater when we were watching this,
Mhm.
I was hanging in there. I was like, this is bad. This is really bad. Like the fact that you guys were all around me kind of
Yeah.
like covered up most of the badness because I was just like, I'm enjoying being with a group of friends. This is an entertaining time of friendship.
Watching bad movies together.
And then I just watched Optimus's corpse get pushed out of an aircraft onto the tarmac
It could've just landed.
like a sack of shit.
Could have just landed in a truck, could have drove it off.
They could have used an opportunity to work in Roller into the live action franchise.
You could have had the other Transformers just carrying his corpse.
Yes, anything. That guy with the electro whips that nobody knows who the hell he is. He's there for one scene and then he's gone.
Yeah,
He
you
could have
want to
done
go with
something.
Optimus as Jesus? Maybe have that the overhead shot as they all waiting
Yeah.
there to cradle his body as it
Yeah,
comes down.
that's it. Like he could have floated off for all I care. But no, they just dropped his ass like a sack of shit.
Yeah.
Well, and then immediately afterwards, the director Galloway comes in. He's like, I got an order from a president to be an asshole. So I'm shutting all you down. Autobots, you got to go. Go back to base. We'll fucking yell at you later.
I also just because I want to throw this in though, like it is two like milestones in my life is the original the Transformers the movie, the animated one where Optimus dies, and I was like super sad and I cried.
I just bought the 4K Steelbox.
Right? And then we get this one where I fucking laughed out loud.
Yeah, that's the thing. How like not that Joe would have shed any tears at all, but like in the '86 movie, it was
no. In '86, I was sad.
It was
I think
an emotional
I did cry
moment
when I learned he died.
I mean, your rage for Rodimus Prime didn't, was kind of holding that tear back a little bit.
So I learned that Optimus died after the movie came out. I didn't see the movie.
Okay.
I saw like a recap on the show, and that was enough to bring me to tears.
Oh, I didn't.
Because I didn't see anything about Hot Rod. I just saw like, oh yeah, he
That
got
piece of shit.
fucking shot in the back by Megatron.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, also comparing the two,
Judas.
this is the more
Judimus Prime.
This is the more corporate heavy advertising bullshit movie, despite the fact that the animated one is the one that literally killed half the cast just to sell you the
Right.
new toys.
Yeah.
It was only there to sell toys.
Yeah.
All right. So now Sam has a moping scene, and he talks to Michaela, he talks to Leo. Leo just has a screaming fit.
Yeah.
And then they get their shit together. But how easy would it have been just at this point, just for Sam to look at Skids and Mudflap and just be like, go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Go-
take him out of the movie.
Go anywhere. Just
anywhere
Just
but
leave.
here.
Go away.
Bumblebee, you're cool. You two, just go home. But anyway,
That's all
so
I've got for today.
fucking Leo's like, we got to find this robot warrior guy, Robo Warrior. He's in this deli. Let's go. Of course, it's fucking John Turturro. And I remember in the movies, I was like, how can this get worse? Boom.
There it is.
This character.
Whoop.
Yep.
There.
Yeah. Like, how can this get worse? John Stanley came back in.
Yeah.
Is it over yet?
No, we're like not even halfway through. Well, we're just about halfway.
Yeah, we're probably about halfway through. Optimus just died.
Oh, good.
So now
This podcast will be
John
longer
Turturro's
than the
here.
film.
Yeah, we can't even, it's not enough John Turturro's here. We get his mom, we
Yep.
get some guy with some Billy Bob
Awful
teeth.
teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some other dude.
Like, what is the point of the what? Can we not you've done nothing to further the plot, but you keep shoving in all this crap.
Got some hard.
Just focus, you retard.
Maybe he just had a bet. It was like, hey, Spielberg, give me $1 million if I can make this thing 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Hey, Spielberg, I can burn money faster than you can give it.
Yeah.
So there's one part I like in this next scene, because like John Turturro's talking about these ancient symbols were all over the world and all that, and like we need a Decepticon to read them.
Hey, Spielberg, I bet you $250 million I can make a movie with Billy Bob teeth in it that makes almost $1 billion.
Oh, nothing to do with the plot.
I'll take that bet.
Also, do you remember specifically in this scene they mentioned they needed a Decepticon to read it?
Yeah. So
Okay. Keep that in
Michaela's like, I have a Decepticon in my car. Goes out and gets him. And just the only part in it I liked the acting was just the close-up of her face when she's like, just tell me what I need to know and I won't torture your eye. And he's like, okay. And it was nice and calm, and it was just a pleasant little threat. And, I'm like, okay.
Screaming for like half
Good
a second.
movie. I appreciated that one little part.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to like blathering about you need to find the Seekers and stuff. You're like, movie, come on now.
Oh,
No one cares anymore.
Oh, they're Seekers. And everybody in the audience is like, Seekers? God, you know the Seekers? I know the Seekers. Starscream's a Seeker. I recognize that word. I'm hard as a rock now.
We'll get into it later.
I was like, stop putting in exposition about things that don't matter.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So he's like, all right, I know where one is at the Smithsonian. And, I really want to go to this museum. This is an awesome museum. I want to go see that SR-71 Blackbird.
Yeah.
I don't want to see John Turturro's ass when he just whips his pants off for no reason. I guess Michael Bay was like, well, let's put a guy ass in here too.
Yeah. That's,
We'll make it
keep
John
it fair.
Turturro because that's funny.
That'll satisfy the lawsuits.
Yep.
Look, I showed way more of John Turturro's ass. And John Turturro's like, Just give me my paycheck.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
late for Monk.
That was the other thing. It was, you know, well, it was funny when you got pissed on and we made you strip in the last movie. Let's do it, you know, go a step further with this one.
Yeah, we'll do it again, but more.
I used to be in real movies.
So
Take your pants off, John.
they go in this museum. They do the old I'm out of toilet paper in the bathroom ruse. And
Again, take your pants down.
yeah. And then just to fucking hit the guards with a taser. Either way,
Again, I feel like I need to point these things out. It's awful for many reasons,
Yeah.
but the topper on it is they have this poor kid come out, pants around his ankles. I don't think
Dick in hand.
I don't think you get to see his dong, but it's, you know, it's close. And they take the time to show a wide shot with a family with a little girl that they're kind of scooting away. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, the girl's like, I want to see those balls.
oh,
You could just be, you know, we get it. It's a museum. There could be families there. We don't need to see people being traumatized in action.
I'm tired of only seeing
It's that
daddy's
awkward
balls.
humor.
so Tony, do we need to see the SR-71 become this rickety ass old man
Well,
bot that
here-
farts a parachute?
Here's the funny thing. They're like looking at all these pictures of like old vehicles, like a Model T
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And he's like,
There's a lunar module up
yeah,
there.
they're like, they've been around forever. They're the oldest of the old. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to see some old stuff. It's going to be an old, maybe a biplane or like a unicycle. Or an SR-71 Blackbird.
All right,
Okay.
we're back
could
to the
be.
70s.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. All the way back. All the way back.
But also, and I think you brought this up while watching it, is they had that when they find the plane. He's like, it's this one. Hit it with the shard and see what happens. And they
Hit it
do.
with a shark.
And then after that, Michaela runs up to it while it's transforming and goes, oh shit, it's a Decepticon.
It's
which they knew.
Yeah.
We had no idea.
Yeah, but they seem surprised by.
They
and
knew
then
it wasn't going to
freak
be an
out.
Autobot.
Yeah, then they freak out and start running, and it's like, what the hell did you expect?
Who could have possibly predicted the thing you said would be the
Yeah.
thing that happened?
So
Yeah, it's an old piece of shit, and he sucks, and he's talking in a dumb Scottish accent. It sounds like John Shrek. No, it doesn't sound like
John
Shrek.
Cena?
No, the other one, Bender.
Oh, John DiMaggio?
Yeah, I know it's not him, but it like sounds like him. It's like it's
He
probably
does a better Scottish accent.
it's
actually.
probably something Kenny, one of the SpongeBob voice. It's probably
it probably doesn't matter.
It definitely doesn't matter, but
he's Wheelie.
he's also one of the twins,
Yeah.
which is why I assume it's him too.
I suppose it could be.
Also, for no
Mark
reason,
Ryan as Jetfire.
Oh, I think Mark Ryan is the same voice as Ironhide. It doesn't matter, but
during this audio chaos of Jetfire, fart in a drag chute, and all this other stuff, the Decepticon bot is humping Megan Fox's legs because that's funny. Because
it's
because she's hot.
hilarious. Also, Smithsonian Air and Space Museum in the middle of a desert for some reason.
Well, no, so that's the national hangar. That is separate. That's further down in Virginia. I don't think it's in a fucking airfield with a bunch of military aircraft nearby.
Definitely not.
But it is. It's not in DC.
Okay.
Like the rest of the Smithsonian buildings.
Okay.
So either way, Jetfire's like, all right, randomly we're teleporting.
But he doesn't say they're teleporting.
Yeah.
He says so after they teleport, he's like, I told you I was building a space bridge. And I'm like, no, you did not.
Yeah.
There was no mention of that. You just did it. And there's no mention of how you can do this or anything. It's just
He's a secret.
plot convenience, blah. And then you just jizz all over everybody and then fly into the desert and
Again,
die.
Backhanded compliment time once again. He could have said anything because I couldn't understand fuck all what he was saying.
But in the midst of this teleport, apparently Sam drunk drives into a tree and hurts his arm.
Yeah. So
Is that what happened? He was drunk. He was drunk
think
driving,
so.
right? Yeah.
all right. They fall everywhere in the desert. Michaela falls on Leo's nuts.
Because that's funny.
Because she's a hot girl.
Yeah, 'cause
Right.
A girl might actually touch him. Isn't that hilarious?
She might
somewhere
actually.
in Earth's desert is some sort of sun-destroying device that the Fallen's looking for. Because he was an OG Decepticon. But, you know, he's one of the primes, and he was the one that was like, yo, why don't we kill solar systems with life on them? Because, you know, there's not a million that don't have life, like, fucking everywhere.
Well, here's the thing. It said specifically that he just hated people.
Yeah.
I get it.
Which maybe, like, Jetfire can teleport. Maybe this dude could see the future and saw that there was going to be
Yeah.
a Transformers movie franchise and was like, we need to kill these people now.
Yeah, Transformer franchise, nothing.
Yeah.
He might have just seen, like, now. Just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no.
oh, these are what people are going to be?
Because I
Fuck that.
assume if that were the case, he would have told the other primes, and they would have been like, "Yeah, let's just take this one."
So we'll make an exception this time.
We'll take
So
bird pronouns. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and end this one.
So the Fallen, apparently he's stronger than all the other primes. So they just like
That
wussed
makes sense.
out
Why not?
and decided to sacrifice all of them to like huddle around the fucking Matrix of Leadership and hide it.
Yeah.
And you need the Matrix of Leadership to activate the fucking sun killer thing.
Oi, Fallen! It's
God.
up one of our butts. You gotta guess which one.
Yeah, you need 3 kings and a dagger tip, and you're just like, I don't care, movie.
And
I-
also, what? They formed a tomb by just huddling together and forming some weird
Yeah.
They
society-esque
transformed.
flesh pile?
Like a bunch of wasps. They just started shitting and made a nest around themselves.
they're Transformers. They
Okay.
can transform into
So if you want, you can turn that back on. Just plug it
With
in.
our powers combined, we can
Yeah.
form a tomb.
It's still sort of warm.
So
It's congealing pretty quickly.
So now they go through,
Powers combined,
like
we can push out.
Jetfire's like, fuck off. I'm too old to go with you. You guys go drive around. And I guess Skids and Mudflaps and Bumblebee are here too. And go find the Matrix of Leadership. And then Sam calls Nest and is like, yo, get Optimus Prime corpse over to these coordinates. And like, John Turturro's trying to use a code that maybe Decepticons won't get. And they just fucking gives them the coordinates.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, they have them now.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was stupid.
Congratulations. You
Yeah.
played yourself.
So, but first they have to get through a checkpoint manned by a little person. Because little people are funny. And they say New York, and he's like, New York!
But
And-
it's that guy. What is it? Deep.
Deep Roy.
Oh, Deep
Deep
Roy,
Roy?
yeah, that's right. It was Deep Roy.
You're just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know better.
No,
You're bigger than this.
No, that's the thing. Once again, we are the leftovers of the man show. Like anything that like that just a little person. That's funny. Hot girls bouncing on trampolines. It's funny. Let's just
Well,
put it in
the
there.
leftovers
Put
of
it
the
in there.
man show, like of the second era man show when it was Joe Rogan, and like they lost track of the joke of
Yeah.
the man show, and it was just let's just be sexist. Woo.
Yeah.
Who
So
watched any of the man show ever?
no, I watched when it first came out, and it was like kind of a satire. It was funny.
Yeah, I saw bits of it, but I don't remember.
That's fact.
Yeah.
I get it.
So anyway,
First 30 to 40 seconds. I get it.
When they come out,
Yeah.
or when the old man's playing
So-
the piano.
You're like, oh, Adam Carolla.
Oh yeah.
So Soundwave detects through the checkpoint, through one of their cameras, he detects Sam. Not the fact that on the phone, fucking John Turturro just yelled the coordinates to where they are. Either way,
Also, no
Sound-
one else could do that, despite
Yeah.
the fact that they put his face and his social security number out there, and the whole world would be looking for him.
well,
But
some detectives there did actually pick it up.
They should have just played his screaming like a
Yeah.
Bigfoot call. Be like, just listen for this sound.
So either way,
No.
So Soundwave gives the coordinates to
God, don't do
Starscream.
that.
He's on his way to go check it out. And now I forget why we learned that
worries.
the sun killer thing is in the middle of the Great Pyramids of Giza.
Because Sam knows.
Yeah, but like this pisses me off because like I'm okay with you doing dumb. Well, no, I'm not okay with you doing dumb stuff in a movie, but I'm okay with you doing dumb stuff, rewriting history with certain things. But like, there's a lot of people in the population that believe that humans didn't build the pyramids and needed alien help. And like, some people seriously believe that. So I hate any movie that gives any credence to the pyramids being anything other than a fucking pile of rocks that some like self-indulgent asshole thousands and thousands of years ago made a whole army of people who may or may not have been slaves build for him.
Jews. Just say it.
Some of them were Jews, but not all of them.
Okay, that's true. Some of them were Egyptian.
I don't think all of them were slaves, though. That's pretty.
Well, there's
The
some
vast majority, but yeah.
There's some evidence now that some of them were actually like hired workers.
Indentured servants,
But-
hired workers, Jewish slaves.
Anyway.
It was a mishmash of...
Either way, like,
That doesn't bother me, but I see.
It
I
was
see where you're coming
not
from.
big, dumb, alien transformer globulins.
yeah. But yeah, no, I don't like things like in the third movie where they're talking about the moon landing had some other purpose. And there's a whole bunch of people in the population that believes that the moon landing wasn't real.
Yeah, it didn't even happen.
Or we went there and did something sketchy. So I hate when they use stuff like that. Like, just make up some dumb shit. Maybe you might actually be able to teach someone about something. Like, they throw in Petra a few minutes later, and that's a cool,
Yeah, but we were talking about Michael Bay, a.k.a. lowest common denominator.
Yeah, nothing about this movie could or should teach you anything.
Hey, yeah. But, I mean, and that's it. It just bothers me. So,
Does it help you any to know that our planet isn't even our planet? It's just another transformer.
There you go. That's the best one.
I'm okay with
Easily
that.
the best one. It's
But it
a
also-
Unicron.
It
for
kind
some
of negates
reason.
all the other stuff, doesn't it?
Surely does.
well, so I don't think there's anybody out there in real life who's like, the planet is a big robot.
Oh,
Well,
no, I
Okay,
I get
how about,
that.
how
but,
about this?
like,
Let me throw this at you.
then it's not our planet.
Why would the primes be there fighting over it to try and suck up the sun for energon if the planet itself is Unicron?
Yeah, I don't. This is also, to tap back for a moment, this is also one of those things that bothers me, and it kind of goes into what you're talking about with why Skids and Mudflap talk the way they do and all that shit.
Why is this?
We
figure
get
so-
this joke that seems to happen a lot. Bugs the shit out of me, just because that's me.
Bugs
The
bunny.
alien, in this case Jetfire, is like, where are we? And they say Earth. And he's like, Earth? What? That's a silly name. Why not just call it Dirt? That implies he understands that Earth is the same, is also what we call the ground,
Yeah.
but he wasn't around when we started calling the planet Earth. Like, it's just, it doesn't make sense at
Yeah.
all. Like that weird thing of we understand what's convenient.
Yeah. So Sam's like, it's another one of those scenes where like Sam's like, I need to tell Michaela that I love her, but I'm going to try to make her do it first. And then, fuck it, I'm just going to instead advance the plot. We see 3 stars, it's the 3 kings. Fucking, we got to follow that. And then, meanwhile, we cut to Nest. They're flying
with
Optimus's
Anne Veal
corpse.
and her camel toe.
Who?
We 3 kings. Oh, sorry. That was an Arrested Development joke.
Oh,
I
okay.
apologize for
problem.
that.
Her?
So,
Her indeed.
yeah, the Major Lennox of Nest, he like the director's going with him with Optimus Prime's corpse back to whatever base they're going to, and the Major basically just makes the director put on a parachute and tricks him into pulling the cord to release it, which was moderately clever. It's about as good as you're going to get in this movie. And
Yeah.
the director's gone. You're just like, good.
I think arguably that was the funniest thing in this movie.
Probably.
That was the funniest thing probably in any of these movies.
That's
So-
true.
Yeah, our heroes, they find the landmark Petra, which is a pretty cool, like, they just carved this big-ass palace out of a mountain. It's cool.
Yep.
Or out of a canyon, I think. And then the twins just have a fight in it because they're annoying.
Right.
But in their fight, they smash through a wall, and turns out that's where the Primes hid the Matrix or leadership. So Sam grabs it, it crumbles to dust, so he's like, let me stuff it in my jack-off sock. Don't worry, Michaela, this is going to work because I believe it's going to.
Yeah, what is the deal with this crispy ass sock? I don't.
Well, also, I want to just take a moment to say we find the hidden primes by the twins stupidly fighting, breaking an ancient piece of history, at which reveals the rib cage or something of a prime body,
It's like his fingers.
which
I
they
think.
just blow up.
Yep.
Like, just no
They've
thought
destroyed
or
so
care
many
for fucking
historical
anything.
artifacts already.
And
They're
then,
not
yeah.
gonna.
You get inside, and as we mentioned before, because they're all fucking evil looking, it looks more like an H.R. Giger style room. It's just creepy and like.
So
What a perfect time
Dick
to.
fingers.
What a perfect time where you could have had, like a character that looks vaguely like Alpha Trion or something or whatever. No.
So
Why do this?
the military C-17s, they arrive at the coordinates and they set up a little base with some infantry and they drop the Autobots and Optimus's corpse. They're set up. They're like, let's fire a flare to tell Sam where we are. And Starscream's like, oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Thanks. And, he's flying around as a tattooed up F-22 Raptor. And he sees Bumblebee and the twins driving. And so a common criticism I hear of Michael Bay is he worships the military so much. But, he consistently portrays them as crappier. Because, in this scenario, Starscream fires a bunch of these little poopy missiles that just kind of blow up around Autobots. One of those missiles, that road's not there anymore. And if those weren't Autobots, those cars wouldn't be there anymore either. It would make a way bigger explosion than what's happening here. And I guess that's just because it's Starscream's weapon and not the weapon that the...
Also plot armor.
Yeah, I think that's the bigger thing. Is I want to show how cool this jet can be, but I also can't let it ruin the movie.
But do something fucking like in Indiana Jones
I'd
where he
have to
dropped
think.
the bomb and
I'd have to think.
yeah,
I want to do that.
blow a hole in the road, have him fall in the road and climb out. I don't know, something like that. Either way, Starscream's like, okay, I have an EMP. I'm gonna set that up, and the military's just like, what? Why doesn't anything work? It's not like they haven't done this to us 20 times already. Or why didn't we plan on this happening? That they do to us all the time. So Megatron orders the Decepticons to assault. I guess at least 13 Decepticons are showing up by the army guys count. The Constructicons, they show up in front of Skids and Mudflaps, turn into Devastator. This looks kind of cool. I'm kind of okay. I didn't like the part where one of them fucking grabbed the cement mixer and just straight thrusted it onto his crotch.
He wrapped his tentacles around him and
Yeah.
pulled them into his crotch.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a bit disturbing.
But, at least it's in the frame, which, in typical Transformer movie fashion, the primary robots are only 80% in the frame at any given time.
Yeah, again,
But-
I like bits of it, but again, because of the design and the
Yeah.
overcomplication of all of it, I can't follow half of what's happening. So, yeah, the part I got was the cement mixer, I guess, essentially got tentacle raped.
Yum, yum, yum.
But
I think he consented to that, Tony.
okay, cool. I don't kick shame.
And who wouldn't?
But then, that formed just the face somehow. I don't know how. If I was able to
That was
follow
a cement
that,
mixer's
I'd be
own
like,
face.
oh, that'd be cool. But instead, it's just kind of I guess that makes his belly.
Now, I gotta say, I was okay with the scene with Sam and Michaela trapped in the house while the Decepticons are ransacking the village. That was moderately suspenseful, and I
Yeah.
kind of like the part where the little bug comes in.
Yeah, and how they
then
go
the
out that hole
Decepticon
and around
rips-
and back in
yeah.
the hole and stuff. That was neat.
The Decepticon rips the roof off, and they do some hardcore parkour, and they're running away.
But-
Devastator. Well, go ahead.
Sorry, I just to stop from. Also, in that part, why I also liked it, but part of the reason I liked it was there was a design I enjoyed for once, and I could tell what the fuck was happening because it had. I don't know if this is intentional. Or I'm not sure quite how you get this, but to form a sort of a window, they seem to just have holes that are almost like a wine rack that bottles are put into.
Yep. That's cool.
It was really neat, and it didn't move around. It wasn't too complicated. I could tell what was fucking happening.
When you're
so
doing
it was
this-
oh, that's nice.
On a building, a simple wattle and daub construction like that, you could just shove bottles and things in there. And,
yeah, I mean that makes sense. But yeah, I could actually follow it. And I was like, oh, that's actually interesting
So-
for once. Well, we have a moment.
Hey, Rob,
Yes.
what's Devastator's power in this movie? What's he really good at?
Sucking.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much everybody's secret
It's
power.
everyone's
right?
power, but he's the
best.
master.
He's pretty good at sucking, though.
He
Yeah.
can inhale like no one else.
He really does suck, like hardcore.
Yeah, and his plan is he's going to climb the Great Pyramid and just suck the rocks away.
Yeah,
Sure, why not?
All right. So,
everybody get to sucking.
so now Rampage springs his trap that Starscream orders him to spring, which is basically
He has
poop
the
out
parents.
Sam's parents and then attack Sam. Sam comes by and is like, hey, okay, let's, I'm going to scream and I'm going to get your attention. Bumblebee's going to jump you from behind.
Yeah, which, again, two things here.
Mm-hmm.
One, I wish I could have seen this play out, because, like, no, don't hurt my parents. Here, you can have it, and hands over what seems to just be a sock full of sand.
Yeah.
At which point he would be murdered.
Also full of sand and cum, Tony.
Yeah, sure. But also, yeah, we have the scene where Bumblebee fights him or whatever, and it, again, should be cool, because we have this interesting design for a robot. I don't...
He rips its arms off.
I'm not fully on board with the springy leg situation, whatever he's got going on, but they have his tires like hanging off his wrist so he can whip them around
his
like
treads,
whips.
yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of cool, but like I couldn't fucking tell what was happening because it's just too garbled nonsense.
I like that he Sub-Zero'd, like, pulled the spine out of, I think that was Ravage.
Yeah,
But,
or
like,
one of the Ravages.
Yeah. But again, like, why can't that just be in frame? Like, just, and why can't we see that clearly for a few more seconds?
Yeah, just slow it down just a little.
Yeah.
Just tone down the design, add a little color to some of this stuff so not everybody's a gray blob, and hey, we're on board. We got a movie.
Guys, they only had $250 million to work with, okay?
So now we get some drama between Sam and his dad. And this scene, I'm like, like we said before, if they hadn't been like annoying and irredeemable the rest of the movie, this might have had some impact. Because Dad's like, we're in this together, and Sam's like, no, Dad, I got to do this. Michaela's like, I'm coming, and he's like, fine, I can't say no to you.
That's right.
And he sends his parents away on Bumblebee, and then I feel so bad because like these two helicopters show up, and Tyrese is like, the Jordanians are here, and like the Decepticons are just like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Shoot him down. But Agent Simmons here, John Turturro, pretends to care about their helicopter crash long enough to steal one of their radios.
Yep.
And then he gets on the phone with some carrier captain somewhere. And it's like, yo, you got a destroyer with a railgun somewhere in the Persian Gulf, because you do. Can you just shoot that at Devastator's nutsack? Because he has a nutsack. He's got 2 wrecking balls.
Yeah, he's got balls.
Devastator's things.
Yeah, his dirty danglers. And he gets a railgun to the dirty danglers.
Which, by the way, you can buy an STL file of his danglers on Etsy, so you can 3D print them.
Oh, that's okay. If you buy the third-party version of the Devastator, it comes
Pre-dangled.
preloaded. Yeah.
Oh no.
So some tanks and some other shit show up, and
I'm pretty sure that's actually what it says in the script. Some tanks and some other shit shows up.
exactly. And like, they're shooting at the Decepticons. Sam like gets near everybody else, and at least this time the tank shells actually seem to bother the Decepticons. At least it may have even killed a couple of them. And then Jetfire shows up, and like Scorponok just does a random run in out of nowhere. He's like, "Remember me from last movie? I've been in the desert the whole time.
I
again."
died
guess.
last time, and whatever. I was the one thing that humans were able to kill.
Well, they only got his tail, and he burrowed away.
I
I
just
think
got
it's right.
schooled. I
I
just
don't
got
know.
schooled.
Whatever. But yeah, I do like it's literally Jetfire shows up and he's like, let me show you how the old timers do it, and he kills like one dude, like he curb stomps this guy.
Yeah.
And then Scorponok is like, oh, by the way, you shouldn't be in this anymore. And like dives through his chest and kills him. Like,
You're done. Bye.
yep.
Now-
You served your purpose. Or you're just about served your purpose.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a
You got
moment.
one more dumb thing to do.
It is sad that the Navy abandoned the railgun project, because it was at least on paper badass.
Yeah, it could have killed the hell out of some
And
Decepticons.
it blew Devastator's nuts off. Like, that railgun just fucked him up. And then, at least with everything else wrong with this movie, I get to see some F-16s and a B-1 Lancer come by and drop a lot of bombs and kill some Decepticons. And I'm like, that part was pretty cool. But then Starscream, like, he shows up and shoots at Sam, and Sam's dead, and everyone's sad. And the Matrix dust from his crusty sock leaks on him.
That's not Matrix dust.
That ain't Matrix dust. And Michaela's like, no, I love you.
That's
You know, that's what Trinity said to Neo to make him come back to life, right?
Yeah.
Sam's off, like, dreaming about the primes. They're like, yo, Matrix leadership. You don't find it, you earn it.
That's right.
So, here. So he now has the Matrix leadership. It reforms from the dust. He fucking goes, stabs Prime with it.
Yeah,
This is
Stab Prime's
Again,
corpse.
the silliest.
it's the Matrix's leadership, which presumably to have any kind of connection is the same as the Matrix's leadership that we got from the animated movie. Where we see, the whole ordeal. Optimus' chest opens up, this little part flips open, it comes out, and he can hand it off to someone. Instead, in this one, it's treated like Pulp Fiction when he has to give her the
Yeah,
injection.
you gotta stab someone with it.
Just stab him in the chest.
Now,
It is just an EpiPen.
Yeah.
historically in canon, like, I guess old school canon, did the Matrix of Leadership have the ability to create new Transformers or bring them back to life?
No.
Well, it's...
I know it gave you the power to throw Megatron through a pelvis.
Yes. No, generally the idea was just, it was to, it kind of like, almost like the Avatar, where it housed the spirits of previous primes. So whoever was wielding it had, the knowledge and experience and whatever of all the previous primes that they could tap into. You could argue that could be used to give a spark to something else, but generally not.
So
I don't think it's
presumably
ever
if
been
one
done.
of the old primes knew a way to do it.
No, because I
you
mean,
would know
in
it.
Beast Wars, Optimus Primal had to take the Matrix out
Yeah.
of Optimus so they could repair him and he could put it back. So if it could like bring a Transformer back to life, in theory, you could have just put it back in Optimus and it would have revived him.
So
Yeah.
either way, Optimus is alive for like 10 seconds. You're like, yay! And then the Fallen just shows up and kicks his ass.
Yeah.
Takes the Matrix of Leadership.
Yeah.
Teleports up to
Lands
the
on him.
top of the pyramid. He's like, oh, I have telekinesis, and just picks all the tanks up and slams them around.
Yeah, like, this is, I'm glad we didn't spend too much time on this, because then we might have had to cut the dog fucking scene,
Yeah.
the mom getting high on pot
Yeah.
brownies,
No.
whatever was happening with that mime.
Can't lose those crucial moments.
Yeah.
So fucking now he's like, okay, I'm the badass. I got the biggest dick. I'm activating this sun killer. I'm destroying everything. Jetfire's like, I've seen enough. I'm gonna rip my own heart out through this hole in my chest and give it to Optimus Prime.
Yeah, and we'll tell you to cannibalize my body to
Yeah.
make armor for yourself.
My old nasty body.
Yep.
But Lifeline's like, or he's not Lifeline. What's his name? Lifeline's the GI Joe guy, but what's
Ratchet.
Ratchet? Yeah, Ratchet's like, I guess I'm making a Frankenstein's monster now.
Sure.
And
It's not even Ratchet.
that's not even him.
It's some guy who, up until this point, we've never seen in robot mode. He's only been driving around as a little car. His name is Jolt.
Okay, I just assumed that was Ratchet.
The Chevy Volt.
Yeah, the Chevy Volt. He's got little whip arms that shoot electricity because he's an electric car.
All right. So Prime, he's just like, how many minutes does this movie have left? All right, I got this. Flies up, shoots the top of the sun killing thing, blows that up. Just beats the piss out of Megatron. Just makes him shoot himself with his own gun. Just kicks his ass. I think he rips an arm off.
Yep.
Tosses him aside. Takes the Fallen, rips his little crest off, and punches through his chest.
Wait.
What's that?
He's got the line.
Well, yeah, if I could.
What's the line?
We have, the famous Optimus lines. Till all are one.
Yep.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Give me your face.
Yep. All right, so he just kills the Fallen, and then, you know, Megatron, wisely so, Starscream's like, hey, boss, you know, there are times where you should just run away. Megatron's like, yeah, okay, let's do that.
Sure.
You know, I'm only gonna fucking sulk in an alleyway in the third movie anyway. And then,
There's still time for this franchise to grow. I'll see you next time, Gadget.
yeah, and then like fucking Sam and Michaela and the family reunite. They're all happy. Sam tells her that he loves her, and then cut to an aircraft carrier. They're all going home. Sam and Prime are talking on the edge of the carrier, just blocking up the entirety of flight operations there with a big ass robot. And Optimus is like, blah blah blah, bullshit. Movie's done. Cue to Lincoln Park.
Yeah. We did skip over Robot Heaven, but that's okay.
Robot Heaven.
We did.
Yeah, where Sam
just weren't paying
dies and
attention.
goes through.
Well, no, I talked about that.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, anyways, did zone out a little bit there. Yeah.
You have anything to say about Robot Heaven?
Done. What?
You have anything else to say about Robot
No, it's
Heaven?
just really stupid. Just the whole
Wait, I think this one was the Great Divide, right? This what I had done was the first
new divide. Yeah.
New Divide.
I don't.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Those Lincoln Parks just blend together
Yeah,
by the end.
I knew it was across the divide or whatever. I did not realize the lyrics he was singing were from a different song and movie or whatever.
No, just the whole "I love you" sub. Just oh my god, my brain couldn't even.
That's a big deal for a man-child.
Yes. Speaking of big deals for man children,
Big fucking nerd like that gets a hot girl. You fucking say that a lot.
Crosses new divide.
Oh, no one's listening. On
That
RottenTomatoes.com,
stopped a while ago.
critics gave this a score of 20%. Audience gave this a score of 57%. Fuck you, audiences.
Yeah.
That's their thoughts and opinions. What about you and yours, John? You must have something to say.
I'd probably hate it more if I had actually watched it again.
But we didn't discuss
Did you
this.
fall asleep before it started, or
we did discuss
when it started up?
Well, I was at work until like 4:45.
Okay.
So I was supposed to watch it last night, but I got out of work at 7 last night and just proceeded to pass out
Okay.
and woke up again at 12:30 in the morning. So movie watching time was done.
Yep.
But at any rate, I think my initial feelings walking out of the theater would have been along the lines of the 57%. I'm sure it would be lower than that if I rewatched it now. But, 57%, that's still an F, right? Or is it a D minus?
No, that's an F.
I think in today's schooling, it's like a B.
That's still.
Well, no, I don't. Do they even do letter grades? I think you get like a rainbow minus.
Yeah,
or
no,
something.
it's like no chud left behind.
And
now.
I mean,
You get a water drop that might be a tear.
yeah. I don't have nearly the love for Transformers that the two of you, Rob and Tony, have. Nor do I have the detestation for everything that Joe does.
Let's get out
So, so I would have, walking out of the theater after watching this movie, I would have given it like a D minus. Definitely not a recommend, but I'm not sure I would have put it on the complete like epic failure list.
Well, the score does that. That is, I think everything on our one
If it
list is
Works out to an F.
is
If it's,
lower
like,
than
less than 60%.
Well,
It's like
it's
20%,
20,
I believe.
20 or 25% is the cutoff for critical
yes.
sales.
So that is the combined scores.
Oh, averaging the
Yes.
critic and the audience. Okay. So, but yeah,
Okay.
I have no desire to watch the movie again.
All right, Joe.
You've heard me complain about these twice already. It's the same stuff. It's like just the loud, incoherent noise, the consistently unfunny jokes. The movie's so fucking long, and they only get longer. The action is not shot well. The Transformers are ugly. I don't like any of the characters involved. At least in this one, I got to see some cool military hardware do something, which in most of the other movies, it's there, but it kind of just sucks. Very little was done well in this film, and I think 20%'s about right. Like, I don't think I was even satisfied with 20% of the movie, but there were a few cool scenes. Is about the best I could say for it. But the fact that this movie made as much money as it did and like got the audience score that it did, just it bothers me and it makes me, it just makes me feel bad. Like, I just wish that, there's so many interesting stories we can tell, and instead we waste our time on stuff like this, and it just makes me sad.
Instead of making another Transformers movie, donate $250 million to cancer research.
To me.
I think Rob playing with his action figures and $250 million would make a better movie.
Yes. Also, I felt like for a while there, most of what you said could probably also apply to my reviewing this movie, which is unfortunate for me. But, Rob.
20% is rather generous in my estimation. I wanted this movie to end about 2 minutes into it. Like, before the title card dropped, I was checking my watch.
Just when the Transformer was stepping on people, but I was like, we're done.
I'm like, I'm out, man. I'm out. To me, like, some of the
highlight for me.
Some of these movies I can like tolerate. Like, I won't go out of my way to watch any of them, but some of them I can tolerate to varying degrees. And this, to me, is easily the worst out of the 5. Although I've only seen The Last Night once, and I feel like that one's pretty close to this. We've done 1 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Aside from this,
I think I watched. Alyssa and I started watching 3, and we got like through the first half hour and just turned it off.
Sam's worse in 3.
yeah, I feel
He's just. I see why they had to stop with that character.
I feel like 4 is the most coherent one,
Wait, which one?
but it's also one of the longest.
Which one was John?
That's
The
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee one. That's we don't even
Yeah,
count
yeah.
that in these.
Yeah, I try to
Yeah.
push that away from this as much as possible.
The one set in the 80s with John Cena.
Where he's basically like G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Should have been.
No, who am I thinking? Not John Cena.
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
Yeah, that's 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then
And
maybe
Kelsey Graham.
maybe we got through 3 and actually started 4, and 4 the Mark Wahlberg just turned to half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, Age of Extinction, that's when it starts to come around for me, just because that is so dumb. I find it amusing. But
Well, yeah, but at least like
Mostly
the
the endings,
story
mostly.
kind of makes like the story progresses, and it's not just like this was literally just a series of scenes that
Oh, yeah,
had
it's
almost no
incomprehensible.
connective tissue to one another whatsoever.
And if it was there, it was screamed at you.
Right. So at least the ones with Mark Wahlberg, he's not screaming the whole time. He is Mark Wahlberging the whole time, so you got to take that into consideration. But yeah, this is awful. It's an awful film. It's an awful thing.
the same as everybody else here. This was an absolute misery to get through. The fact that they threw in this extra character of the roommate and then had the balls to make a joke about how he's like talks and screams too much. I don't know if you guys, we kind of glazed over talking about it. I don't know if you even caught
Yeah,
that,
that's
but
true,
they
yeah.
tased him and he was like, "Oh, I'm tired of hearing from that guy." Like, that's fucking every one of you in this goddamn movie.
That was in Shia LaBeouf's script. Like, you have to have a guy that gets attacked for
No,
screaming.
I feel like that was almost like Michael Bay trying to put that in as a response to everyone's comments about Shia LaBeouf, but it was, but he didn't change Shia LaBeouf's character or anything. Like,
We're gonna put somebody else in there that's worse.
Right.
yeah, but
To
not
make
even.
it look better.
Yeah, that might have been the attempt, but it didn't even work. But again, this gets it. Like, I don't. The money, the scores, I don't understand. Who is this even for?
We need somebody they'll hate more than Shia.
Yeah.
Michael Bay's the kind of guy that wears a shirt that says, "If you can read this, the bitch fell off."
Yes.
But he doesn't even own a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Or a bitch.
Or a bitch.
But yeah, again, who is this for? Because again,
It's for Michael Bay.
If you're, that's the only thing that makes sense. Because if you're a Transformers fan, they shit all over the legacy there with Optimus becoming a murderer. They don't put in any of those little things of,
See, I mean, Transformers has been shitting on its own legacy.
Oh yeah, it does fine on its own,
since
but
day one. But
like I said, with the you could have put in little references, Alpha Trion being one of the original guys, or whatever. They could have Bludgeon could have have been The Fallen or something. They could have done something. So it's not for old school fans. If this is supposed to bring in new school fans, like which one? Because it's certainly not a kids movie with fucking dogs and robots humping your leg every minute, pot brownies and things like that. It's literally like frat kids. Like that's Michael Bay, basically. Yeah, I hate this. I hate it. I'm not someone like I watch a ton of shit. And I'll usually sit through it without much of a problem, even bad stuff. But this was hard. This might be one of the worst. So anyway,
See what
else we got going on, Rob?
Well, guys, it's time to roll the D20 of fate, and that means it's time to roll a 20-sided die, and that will choose the movie we watch next. Now, if it rolls a 1, that means we have to choose from the fail list.
Again.
And if we roll a 20, that means Joe gets to choose whatever movie he wishes.
Oh, it's not going to be a 20.
This is Joe's roll. Oh yeah,
It's Joe's roll.
Yeah,
Rob
none of us
rolled this.
recommended this, so
Oh yeah.
animated.
Anything else. Literally anything else.
Go outside.
Yeah.
Go
Watch, watch Troll 2.
The one Bumblebee had issues and the 86 one had issues, but they're both clearly better than any of the Michael Bay
Oh,
ones.
for sure.
Easily.
See about Rise of the Beast.
Okay, roll the die. Oh no, it's a 6.
For the number 6, Joe, you've earned yourself Iron Eagle.
Oh fuck yeah! This is gonna be terrible, but I'm gonna love it.
Highway to the Lou Gossett Jr. zone. And not that song either.
Surprised this isn't a critical failure.
I don't know. I don't know what the scores are on Iron Eagle.
I don't know off the top of my head, but if it's on this list, it's above the marker there.
I watched this movie so many times that I was a kid. Just the end with he takes an F-15 and just blows up a third world country to get his dad back.
So I don't know if I've seen this movie, to be honest.
Oh,
with
you're gonna hate it.
I've definitely seen
It
this.
might come back to me when I watch it. But,
Yeah.
that almost never happens. Like I don't remember anything.
It's probably one that I've seen 5-minute clips of, like just
Yeah.
flipping through.
It's just one plane firing the same missile over and over again and blowing up a bunch of models.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I don't remember a ton of
Puppets
it.
and
but
miniatures getting destroyed. I'm all about it.
Hey.
Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks to Dave for his cameo, eating some random Pop-Tarts.
Sorry you had to watch this,
Yes,
Dave, and didn't
you
even get to
could.
say anything.
You should have said something earlier. I wouldn't have made you watch it. You just show up and eat. That's fine.
Also-
John didn't have to watch the movie. He just came and ate.
Just
I'm
sat
for the
here.
food.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and assume sorry for whatever's happening to you in the bathroom right now.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably not getting assaulted. Just mean like your stomach situation. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next episode.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
4 a.m. podcast, roll out.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, and if possible, leave a review. If you have questions, comments, or would like to sponsor an episode, email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show, you can buy a t-shirt, hoodie, and more at Teespring. Or gain access to exclusive content by becoming a patron at patreon.com/4ampodcast. Thanks again for listening. See you next time.